Aye, aye, good afternoon. Welcome back to another Racing Post Live with myself, Dave Orton, in the chair for you. 7 races. We're feeling festive. We're feeling golden. We kick off in the 150. It's the Racing Post Gold Cup. The stock is rising here in the office, let me tell you. So we go up to Doncaster as well. All jumpers coming left, right and centre. We're going to have a great time. Interactive show, of course. If you're new to it, get involved. You can do that on YouTube. You can do it on Facebook Live. Get those chats up. We've seen plenty of people waiting to have a crack. We'll give you a shout out throughout the afternoon. Lots been going on in the world, isn't there? Happy to talk about anything really racing-wise this afternoon, or indeed what you're doing for Christmas. Let us know. With our sponsors, Betfair, along the way, you're going to be learning plenty. We're going to showcase the functionality of the exchange, sportsbook action as well, anything anti-post. This is the place to be for raucous reaction. Why? Let's go down the panel. Everyone's favourite, Natalie Green, joins me back. A double header of weekends for you, Nat. You're loving London.
I do. I love these double headers. I've already started laughing. This is not good for the rest of the show, but I love.
This is what we want.
Talk to us about anything. Ask us anything.
You've got to be careful there. Our community we love, but they are interesting characters.
But I do love, Dave, that straight into the studio and straight into the RP Gold Cup. We're going straight into it, and that's what I love about this show. It's just going to be full energy, full throttle from start to finish.
TC
and I'm going to have 6 winners today, I've decided.
Tom Collins. TC, how are you?
Yes, I'm good, Dave. Well, Nat said she's going to have 6 winners, so I need to step up and give you 7.
Yeah, and have you done your homework?
Of course. When don't I do my homework?
Well, it's interesting because Nat has got lots of paper around her as usual. And Twitter last week, Tom, it's fair to say you leaked all your notes. But for this show, I don't think I've ever seen you write one thing down. He goes on Sky like the rainforest is falling.
It is true, yeah. Sky, I do have a massive notepad on here. No notes whatsoever. But it's all in the brain. The UK stuff's all in the brain.
Exactly. We're going to improvise it along. Now, it's been a couple of weeks recess. Myself and Nat saw him. He was over here in the UK, but he's back in Dublin. The big hitter himself. Welcome back to Racing Post Live, Barry Orr.
Good afternoon, everyone. Great to be with you. What a fantastic way to spend an afternoon watching Cheltenham with you guys and Doncaster. So a lot to look forward to today, and let's get cracking.
I'll tell you what, Ryan McHugh has become a popular deputy for you, Barry. He knocked in a 25-1 shot. Somehow, he was going through a barren spell. You can't keep a good man down, as I keep saying. It was at Exeter, Gwensley Barber. Since then, everything went right for him. We're going to choose the IJF, aren't we? The Injured Jockey Fund for the charity of December. Great cause, Barry.
Yeah, we certainly are. I was over in Newbury for the Ladbroke meeting, got a couple of their diaries, and they just do such good work on their stalls around all the race courses, selling their calendars and all their kind of branded goods. It's only a small part of a fundraising, but I played golf with Johnny Frankham recently, who's one of the trustees, and I think he said it's somewhere like £1 million just to keep the lights on a year. So, you know, you can't be good enough to a charity like that. So fingers crossed. Like you say, we're going to show the functionality of the exchange and the sports book, the different things you can do on each. And hopefully we'll get a few quid for charity along the way.
Brilliant. Great to have Barry back, isn't it? Get your questions in for Barry, Nat or Tom, or even myself along the way. You can do so, as I say. Let's ramp it up this afternoon. We'll tell you where your money went, that's for sure. And watching the races is Cheltenham. It's going to get fiery. Cannot wait for that. There you can see, if you're new to the show, we show you the exchange. This is the real market. This is where the money queues up. You can see it. The layers, of course, the bookmakers traditionally, and the punters as well. Which one of you? Who's the big lay this afternoon? We'll find out from Barry shortly. There are a couple of shorties along the way. But there it is, in full Technicolor. I've got to read this again. Let me blink a couple of times. It is the Racing Post Gold Cup. That's the closest we'll ever come to a Gold Cup, Tom, but we'll take it. Of course, better known as the December Gold Cup, right?
Yeah, Caspian Caviar is what I remember this as from recent seasons. But yes, it's great to see the sponsorship there from Racing Post, and hopefully we can tip the winner as well in the studio.
Exactly. It's not just Betfair that do the sponsorship, Barry. I mean, it's been a big sponsorship month, hasn't it? Is there one in a lucky 15 for us somewhere along the way starting off in this race, Barry, perchance?
Yeah, we'll do a lucky 15 if we can, please, Tom. Obviously, that's the six doubles, 4 trebles, an accumulator, and 4 singles. So it's 15 bets. We're going to do it each way, although 2 of the races are poor each way races in that they're only 2 places. But our first leg is going to be Lawler here in the Racing Post Gold Cup off at 150. I'm not going to let the price put me off, just like G-Rod did last week with Brennan Team.
Yeah.
Going to hold fast here. So Lawler's going to be the first leg. In the 225, then, Barony's Legend for Ollie Murphy is going to be the second leg. In the 315, then, again, another Ollie Murphy horse called the Wolf is going to be the third leg. And then the final leg, our finale at 335, the Mayor's Handicap Hurdle, Win House is going to be the fourth leg. We're going to do it for £1, so it's 15 bets. We're going to do it for £1 each way. So that's 30 quid or lucky 15. And don't forget, bet 20 quid on multiples on the Betfair Sportsbook and you get a £5 free bet. So, that's what I fancy across those four. Now, obviously, I have other fancies throughout the day as well. Like you're talking about the novice race there, Blazing Cal. I think he could be a late today. I'm going to take him on the exchange.
Yes, I wanted to hear that as well. We'll get into that. That's our 225. I've got a big target on his back as well. We are off and running. Great to see some of the chats coming up. Right, we've still got an offer out there for you. It's a Christmas countdown offer. It is, of course. Shall we get the advert up? I believe the graphics will be coming on the screen. There we go. There you go, there's that old helicopter then. But why? Because you get a transfer from your 5-star hotel stay. This is at the festival, of course, in 2022. Helicopter transfers, Rue Restaurant, 5-star, of course. Best views of Prestbury Park. And how to enter. So, we're in December now. Okay, so, all right, we've got the 17th and the 26th, Boxing Day. Place a bet on the app. You and 3 friends can be whisked along to Prestbury Park for the finest show on earth. In the middle of March, isn't it? It's the second week. When is it? It always annoys me where Cheltenham falls, you know. I never know. Why can't it always be the same? You know what I mean? You never know whether it's the second or third week, do you? Or anything
I think it's
like
the
that.
second week.
Is it?
Second week, yeah.
We're going to have, we want to have crowds this time, don't we?
Fingers
A
crossed.
bit up in the air again, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's that. I don't want to...
Positive thinking.
Positive thinking. I'll
Come
tell you
on.
what, if London is not taking much notice of it, let's put it that way. They're out having a great time. So,
Rammed, isn't it?
Ramo today. Yeah, festivities
I think
are
I've only
there.
been home for 48 hours, actually, before coming back to London.
You love it that much, like a boomerang.
I've only just recovered.
It's the place to be.
Literally.
I'm not really sure I have, to be honest.
No,
but,
it's the hottest I've ever been in this studio, actually.
it's hot in the studio as well.
It's almost freezing here.
TC's got a fleece on, which is marvellous.
Yeah, the one time I've got a jumper on.
You're going to get really hot.
Someone in the chat asking if Tom Collins is a cocktail. It's also a terrible William Haggis train doors now as well, isn't it?
Oh, it's awful. Yeah, it is a cocktail though. Fun fact, I do get free Tom Collinses when I go to bars.
What?
I do.
What? You have to show ID?
Yeah, it is.
It's a
a
gin.
gin cocktail.
Yeah.
Yeah,
With
yeah.
orange.
Show my ID.
Orange in it.
Lemon, I think.
And they say,
show
"Huh,
ID.
have
and
a free one."
Yeah, when I was at uni, they did it for 3 years. It was fantastic.
We need to get the fake IDs again, don't we? Espresso martini in the middle of us over there. All right, we've got a money back offer, Barry, of course, on the big race. This is something that Betfair have been promoting. There, you can see it.
Yeah, and the 150, our first race here, money back special. If your horse fails to finish in the first 3, you get your money back up to a tenner. Just check out the website for T's and C's there. But yeah, we've had them for the last 3 or 4 weeks, and they've been really, really popular with punters. So long may it continue. Your horse fails to finish in the first 3, you get your cash back up to a tenner. That's exchange and sportsbook as well, Dave, which is interesting because ordinarily on the exchange we've always struggled with rewarding loyalty to our customers, but it's something that we've managed to unlock now on the exchange. So, like I said, check out the website for T's and C's there.
Love it, Barry. What a race to kick off with as well. Should we get some selections out of the way? All right, so Lalor it is. Spoke to, you might have seen we did a feature show with Tom Malone. Tom Malone's been busy at the sales again overnight, isn't he? Chris Giles, you know.
The sales is absolutely booming, isn't it? Shattered Love. Actually, 260,000 was it at Broome?
It's going to Nichols and Mullins again. It's exciting times, isn't it?
I was just going to say, it's exciting.
Exciting times, yeah, absolutely. All right, so Lalor was Tom's nap of the weekend. He bought him and he said he knows how to race again after that Windot run. Piece is on.
Everything's on. All the gear, isn't it?
There's a big tick in this race that you have to have won over at least historically. If you look at the trends, excellent. Kevin Morney's column is there in your members section. Have a look at it for the big races today. And the international, which we've got coming up at a big hurdle race, that you can easily get that down to just 2. And I've got it down to 1 thanks to Kevin as well. Historically, winning over at least this far. But he looked like he wanted TC at least this trip last time. Is he on your radar?
No. Now, it's not because I don't think he has the class, because he definitely does. He proved that when he was with the Willicotts. But I have plenty of doubts about Lala. First time cheap pieces, second time wind up, second time for Paul Nicholls. I thought it was probably primed for the Paddy Power. Personally, I was at that meeting. I fancy Midnight Shadow. I know that sounds like classic after timing, but I don't actually think he would have won the race. I think Cool Cody would have won.
Yes.
No is your selection.
Oh, thank you
today.
for teasing that one, Thomas. I tell you what, you're getting this, aren't you? I can have a break 1 week.
He finished 3rd. Lala did. I don't think he'll be able to reverse form with either the first or Cool
You
Cody.
have to understand that Barry has been spending a lot of time with Paul Nicholls over the last week, and he is very, very sweet on this horse. So, yeah, look, we've seen what's been happening, haven't we? Harry Cobden then a big ride for him. Is the Paddy Power Gold Cup the key to this?
Yes.
Racing post Gold Cup?
Yes, it is. Of course
And
it
who
is.
is
It's
the
been seen,
selection?
isn't it, as a track. I got one stat which viewers should probably check because, sometimes when I throw a stat in, it's not often correct. Horses aged 9 or more have a 0 from 76 record in this. I just read it somewhere.
Hang on.
Don't shoot the messenger.
Yeah, but since you have to narrow it down a little bit because there are...
No, I can't. That's all I've got, Dave. That's all I've got on my notes.
Fine.
I'm not changing. No, I've made notes on loads because we can talk about these all day. And I'm not going to say Lalor can't win because he can win, but I'm not choosing him.
Historically, this show has been banana skins for saying things can't win. You know that, don't you?
So I've learnt my lesson. I'm actually going for something a little bit different. I'm going to go for the informed Venetia Williams with Faraday. Rachel Blackmore is on board. I had a really good bet yesterday on Commodore. Venetia's the grey with the pricked ears, absolutely loving life. Faraday, 273 days off. So a lot of people, that could be a put-off. It doesn't put me off so much with Venetia Williams, if I'm perfectly honest. The same with like Team Skelton or Nichols or whatever. Kim Bailey, for example. Yeah, February, we just look back through the form. Looked a bit out of pace, I've written, stayed on after 2 out, which I like. So what I've come down to is Faraday. It stays. I shouldn't call it so rude, isn't it? He stays.
I don't like it.
No, don't like it. And tries really hard. So got the attitude, got Rachel on board, and Venetia is in really good form.
If TC wrote in the form book or in an analysis or a spotlight, if he wrote it, I'd be saying, "Oi, Collins, meeting room now."
Yeah.
And you have to have a word with them about it. You're not allowed to do that. Quite right.
Well, I quickly corrected myself.
You did indeed. And talk about being correct. There's a lot of fact checking going out there at the moment, isn't there? But 9-year-olds in the past decade, 18 only 4 places.
That's exactly what I said, wasn't it?
Pretty much.
Can I be devil's advocate here about Faraday? And this is not because I don't think he can win, because he definitely can. And he's been a big he's been an anti-post plunge as well, with 25s into, 30?
Was that the Rachel factor a bit, though, do you think?
Yeah, maybe. But I think there are 2 negatives about his chance. One, now I know Venetia Williams won with Commodore yesterday, but Venetia, with chases at Cheltenham, it's her 2nd worst strike rate of any track where she's had over 100 runners. She's 36 from 357. Which is only like a 10% strike rate or something like that. It's pretty low. And also, Faraday needs soft ground. Now, I'm a bit worried about the ground for him. Silver Hallmark's been taken out, who was my nap of the week.
And mine.
Yeah,
ground.
I nearly had a cry.
There are 2 nons, of course, aren't there? We should probably.
They look after that horse very well, though, don't they? The Ruckers and Fergal. It's the first one that Ruckers have got with Fergal, and they've made it clear that they're looking after him.
When Faraday won at Sandown, when he signed off, we covered that on this show. And he went, Matt, were you in? Do you remember? Barry was in as well. He was huge spike in running. He didn't look like he could do it. I remember I was having a terrible run. And I tipped him, and I was like, I'm going to have a terrible run again. And somehow, he pulled it out the fire, didn't he?
Yeah, on terrible ground as well, wasn't it? And then
that's the issue with him. It might get a bit lively for him. She's obviously over for Ballyadam, isn't she?
Yeah.
But it is a very interesting booking. Barry, did you want to back Lalor on the single as well?
Yeah, I was going to. Yeah, I just thought with him that the ground could be gone for him, but it's a stiffer test than new course, and he's got cheap pieces on for the 2nd time, having warned him back in New Year's Day in 2020. And I think when Harry Cobden got off him last day in the Paddy Power, he just said, he said to Paul that he thought the cheap pieces did do. So they're back on. He's a massive drifter in the market, but like we saw last week with Grenadine, I wouldn't let that put me off Paul Nicholls' horse, but the ground could be a concern. And he's never managed in his last, 4 or 5, well, definitely his last 2 races, he hasn't managed to finish previous to finishing in the Paddy Power. So he needs to show that he can string 2 runs together. But I'm being compensated by backing him at 9-1 now on the exchange. So we're going to have 25 quid at 9-1 on the exchange. And then we're going to look at this at 4 places. There's various different place markets on the exchange, but at 4 places, you can back him at just between around 15 to 8 marks. So we could have 25 quid at 282. Happy to be a price taker of both markets, please, there, Tom. And I just thought hopefully he'll run his race, because we haven't seen him string 2 decent runs together for a long time now. But I know the soundings out of Deechit, reading his blog on betting.betfair, reading Paul Nicholls' blog, is that he feels the horse is in really good shape, and they're really looking forward to it.
Okay, thank you, Barry. Yeah, listen, we'll go back to Barry after we get a social in. You can see Barry Orr's selection there. Lalor, you'll see lots popping up here, including Tom Barras, who opens the show and says, Faraday for me. He's been the obvious and exposed on a positive jockey booking, isn't it? The most positive. There's never been. Okay, that went on a bit.
No, I think it was. Quick. It was about
quick
exactly
ground.
what Tom
Something
said
about the ground.
Ground.
So we're a little bit worried about the ground. There are some right characters in here, though, Barry, aren't there? And more to the point, who is going to go off Fav? Surely it's Midnight Shadow, isn't it?
At the moment, it's Fusil's Raffles, who I don't think we've spoken about just yet. But at the head of the market, it's 7-6 him, Midnight Shadow 7-8, 7-6 Fahrenheit 8-2 Dorsal Phil. That's another one that's come in for decent support. So it's really, really competitive affair at the head of the market, Dave. And at this stage, you wouldn't like to call who's going to go off favourite. But what's it even matter who goes off favourite in a race like this? It's at the moment 7.8 each at 3 at the head of the market.
How do you feel about races like this with 11-2 the field? You know, proper betting races, or because a lot of punters go, I'll be at the bar for that one, you know. But I mean, it's a great watch, and again, RP Live the best for that. We get involved in running. Where do we think the tactics going to come from? Loads of pace on, or because with Dostal Phil, we know what Aidan Coleman's going to do, right? He's really a 2-miler. So they've got to smuggle. And while he ran, I was with G. Rod yesterday, he was telling me about final furlongs and all that sort of thing and splits and all that. And I said, but G, he's going to go out the back of the telly. And we know, Cool Cody won the Paddy Power last year. Midnight Shadow and Cool Cody always up there, weren't they?
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know, if you're on a hold-up horse, it's just not great, I don't think.
No, I don't think so either. You don't really want to be too far off the pace at Cheltenham anyway in a chase.
In a chase.
I do think Cool Cody will lead. My selection is Midnight Shadow, but as I say, Silver Hallmark would have been my nap. If he was running.
Hugh Masson's on the screen, look. He said, blooming Met Office said it'd be raining by now.
Yes. I mean, I looked at the forecast on Monday when I was writing my RFO column. Rain every day at Cheltenham.
Worst thing about being a long-range tipster, isn't it? You've basically got to guess the weather.
It's unbelievable.
I couldn't stand that when I was more on the betting
Yeah, it's
side.
really hard. It's really hard. Well, you're guessing all the factions.
And you got watering and things like that. Oh, it's a nightmare. So look, absolutely, Hugh. The ground hasn't been there. We're just watching the replay of Midnight Shadow.
It was about this point I lost my voice, and then I thought Protectorat was going to come and chin him.
Wasn't he good last Saturday, Protectorat?
I think the race fell apart, but he was phenomenal, yeah. Bridget Andrews gave him a perfect ride.
It was a lovely ride.
Perfect.
Yeah, she's so good, isn't she?
Yeah.
She really is. And to my mind, he's a proper Gold Cup horse. He is.
Interesting to see how he develops.
Horse.
Yeah.
Maybe he just wants this. The only thing about Protectorat, as we've seen in his career, he can just drop off a little bit. I hope they give him a break. I hope they don't do a third time knocking it.
Just
try and keep striking.
I cannot believe when I watch it, and I just think about 6-year-old horses jumping up. I think he's quality.
Yeah.
He's so young.
Yeah.
But Midnight Shadow, you can make a stronger. I mean, one thing about the Smith horses is they are tough.
Very.
He could be a bit of a gift horse, couldn't he?
Always says
tough as teak, absolutely. That's a great saying that. And the commander comes on and says, Cyril Delac, anyone? Jumps like a stag until he falls. Low mark, not been out much, and a front runner. Didn't want to hear that, commander. If you're on Cool Cody like me, he's big price, isn't he? He went on that win. Lizzie Kelly got him over the line. Do you remember? Was it the Ultima that he won, or was it the old Marmite Fleet, wasn't it? The plate.
Yeah, but it's hard. It's just when you look at pulled up, full and unseated 7th. That's
the only day I've backed him. When she lifted him over the line that day. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, which is sounds a bit obvious. The only day I've backed him. So he's a friend of mine, the commander. And the Pipes, it's a shame that Adagio didn't turn up this weekend, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hopefully he'll be back on track soon. But he would have been a warm order in the International. Reminder, we're going up to the Donny shortly as well. Got some really interesting races. We've got an Albert Bartlett trial coming up. Fingers on the buzzers. Anti-post-wise. Who's got something sizzling anti-post-wise for the festival? What about the King George? Let us know. Leopardstown. Anything you want to talk about, we will give it a shout out. It's great pace so far, and we're nearly at the feature race of the day, the Racing Post Gold Cup Handicap. Delighted.
The commander was talking about the jumping there of Cyril Delac, 2 horses that aren't very good jumpers, Dostal Phil and Zanza. If you've backed either of those, I think you need to, you'll be having your heart in your mouth early on anyway. Because they
Spotlight is the Dostal Phil, both Hobbs horses. Who was it? Someone said to me yesterday, I can't remember who it was. It was someone, it might have been, I can't remember who it was. Someone clever in racing said, you're always near someone in the world who fancies Zanza.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know
I think
what I mean?
Richard Johnson has put
You're always
Zanza
within
up,
10
wasn't he?
paces of someone who fancies Zanza. How many times? Ultimate Cliffer.
Yeah.
This will be the one, won't it, when everyone jumps off? You know what it's like.
But he's got so much ability, which is why people love him, but he just can't jump.
Yeah. I'm just trying to see how I can word what G-Rod said to me in between takes yesterday. He said, if Beakstown win, this is the most polite way, I will give up the game. And Tom Malone, who we were chatting to, and we had him on Skype online, he went, I bought that one as well. So we had a bit of banter about that. But he has been the money horse. I thought Alnadan was going to turn up here.
I looked at
the same
Beakstown
colours.
and then scribbled it out because then I was like, lightly raced. I don't think it can go into the red zone. You know what I mean? When you got to ask him to go
Into the red zone, I like that.
Won't go into it.
Stealing that. Into the red zone.
Because they've got a really pushed themselves, haven't they, to the absolute extreme, and he's like, nah.
Yeah, this could be fast and furious, and it, of course, more of a stamina test than the Paddy Power Gold Cup. Midnight Shadow should be fine on that, shouldn't he?
Yeah.
Good luck wherever you're playing. Looks like Nicky Henderson, Daryl Jacob, Fusel Raffles on course are going to go off out. And they are off and running, and Zanza already taking a bit of time to warm up out the back under Tom O'Brien as they whittle towards the first fence. Cyril Dulac is up there for the commander. Cool Cody fell last time. Absolute peach over that. Does still feel not great there. Beatstown not great there at the back away. All about getting in rhythm.
Yes, that's what we were saying before. Particularly, on the with the hurdles races at Cheltenham, they can come off the pace, they can come flying home, but I think on the chases you've got to get into a lovely rhythm, and it's all about that rhythm, jumping, and of course staying.
And isn't it interesting, TC? You look at Harry Cobden, look at Rachel Blackmore. They're on the outside, aren't they, over those first couple of fences. Now they'll tack in. They don't want anything going wrong.
Yeah.
Got to get the confidence, got to get in the rhythm.
Yeah, exactly that. Rachel did that on Eclat de Rear as well the other week. She stayed right out wide, like 15 wide going into the first few fences to get a good sighter. They're settling down now. Cool Cody had to be rousted along early to get the lead, but he's settled in front. Midnight Shadow just tracking the pace with Cyril Dulac. Dostal Phil made a mistake and had to be nudged along for a 2-miler. Stepping up and trip was a bit strange. Zanza as well, jumping slowly.
Love it. This is the Racing Post Gold Cup.
Phil.
Oh, what happened? Oh, no. Dostal Phil gone badly wrong.
Bugger.
Oh, horrible to see that. Poor animal. OK, that was right in front of the stands as well.
Not good.
As Cool Cody takes it up. What a sad postscript to his career that is. Oh, he had a right chance, didn't he, coming through the pack late as well. Commiserations to all connections out there. It was horrible. Oh, my goodness. So Cool Cody has now found himself to the front. I'm happy to see that, because if you're on a front runner, you don't want him being pestered. Tom Scudamore has accepted it on Cyril Dulac, and Midnight Shadow in third. Fusel Raffles. Lalor creeping up as well, Barry. How's the market feeling?
Yeah, it's 5-6 Fusel Raffles at the moment. Midnight Shadow 5-1, 6-6 Fahrenheit 11 Beakstown. I thought he made a couple of bloomers there earlier at the back. Lawler 7.4 now, but still all to play for most of them. There's not that. It's maybe 10 lengths between first and last, 15 lengths.
Absolutely. Just one out the back that's being squadding. Frankie de Burley in the colours of Roddy Owen out the back. Not for him today. OK, so here we go. That was the final fence. Next time round.
Fusel Raffles is looking pretty comfortable here. It's funny, isn't it, how you see the tactical eye. Fusel Raffles, Midnight Shadow. You'd be happy with both of those if our viewers are on either. But Fusel Raffles, he just seems in a really nice rhythm and travelling really nice and smoothly.
They've really slowed down the pace as well. They're only going 27 mile an hour up the home straight for the first time. That will help Cool Cody, especially if you're on the lead.
I'm loving Cool Cody at the moment.
Yeah.
Barry, what price in running at the moment, the Cody? Just watching him going over this one.
11.0 at the moment, Dave. So 10 to 1.
That reminds me of Frodon, in the King George. We were saying that until like the third last, which is a crazy price. Midnight Shadow going well, TC. You'll be happy.
Yeah, Ryan Manny is in the perfect
Frodon
position.
won this race, didn't he?
He did, indeed, yes.
As a 4-year-old,
Yeah.
he won a couple of times, but Fusel Raffles made a bad error there.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
I think.
Daryl did well to sit there.
Daryl
Fahrenheit
did well
catching
to
my
sit
eye as well.
there.
Are you getting excited now, Nat Green? You could win the Racing Post Gold Cup.
I'm having 6 winners today. Yes, I'm excited.
love it.
I'm absolutely going to have a great day.
Tell you what, Cyril Dulac's going well. Dejan de Sirac, is that his name?
Still
He's
a
going all
16
right.
to 1 chance in running.
Really?
Cyril Dulac, yeah.
There you go. All right, Beatstown creeping into it as well. Sepage not fancying it too much. Zanza, he's still there. Zanza, Lalor, big jump from him on the outside. Top of the Cotswolds, unseated last time at the first, didn't he? Again, giving up the outside to no one. All right, TC, call it. We're getting to the business end.
Yeah, there's no horse I'd rather be on at the moment than Midnight Shadow. I think he's in the perfect position. Cool Cody's obviously jumping very nicely out in front.
This.
Fahrenheit just moving into contention. Cyril Dulac still travelling. Fusel Raffles, I think, is going to be going backwards shortly. Zanza's being nibbled
Beakstown
along.
getting into it.
Yeah,
He is indeed.
Beatstown's
I know.
catching the eye. Harry Skelton, he is
Beatstown
sensing
is.
this and he's pulled him right wide.
He is a quitter, though. I wouldn't be backing him
That's
right
what
now.
we said.
Oh,
Red
well,
zone.
we will find out. Yeah, and do you
No,
know what? He just
red
put
zone.
down there as well. OK, we're now getting serious. And Cool Cody, when's he going to start revving? He's holding on to him, Adam Wedge. Midnight Shadow's right there. He wants to lead, we know that, don't we? Now Lalor's just starting to feed a little bit. Fusel Raffles after that error. Cyril Dulac's running a mighty race on the inside. Here's the tricky third last. They're upsides then. Cool Cody, the old rivals. Wow, come on, the Cody. We can do this. Adam Wedge and Evan Williams. What have we got in the locker? They're all struggling in behind. Beaks down now the kitchen sink. Zanza could finish, but surely all too late. Fuzil Raffle's
giving
not
it
done.
another. He's not done, is he? He's not finished.
Come on, Cody. TC, you're getting excited.
I am. Need a big jump here from Midnight Shadow, otherwise
They
it's game
talked
over.
about the
You'll get
King
it.
George, didn't
You'll
they,
get
for
it.
Midnight
Go on.
Shadow afterwards. Is he just giving it in? And this is
Go
where
on,
Cody
go,
getting
go,
it last
go.
time. Oh, he's
chipped
big and
in.
bold. Come on, the Cody. Sprint
Go on
away
in,
from
Mania.
him. It's the old rivals 1 and 2 then in the
Go on, Mania.
Racing
He's not
Post Gold
giving
Cup.
up.
TC, Dave Orton
Big
and
jump.
McQueen.
Big jump.
Go on,
Go.
Cody. Go on, the Cody. Oh, no. Come on, the Cody.
Go on, Midnight.
We got his on the running. Look at Zanza. Zanza's flying from absolutely nowhere. But cool Cody, the 10-year-old. He's got it in the bag. A marvellous ride. Unbelievable scenes. In the Racing Post Gold Cup, his old rival, nutted on second by Zanza, who does what he does. I'm loving life and I'm quitting now.
I've never seen anyone's face so red.
Red. I thought your veins were going to
I was channeling the silks of Cool Cody. Barry,
Well, that's the next
pick me
one.
up. Goodness gracious me. I said, didn't I, Barry? That was a big prize.
You said it, Dave, and he stayed on stoutly up the hill, didn't he? Your runner-up, Midnight Shadow. Well, is he runner-up?
I don't know,
actually? I don't
Barry.
think he is. I think Zanza might be up, but Midnight Shadow hit a low of 1.60, so 6-4 on for 385 quid and bigger sums after that as well. Zanza, although finishing second, hit a low of 3.10, although never looking like winning, but game as a pebble, the winner, you'd have to say, and just reward for him after what happened last day, but great result. Well done, Dave.
Yeah, well, listen, absolutely, every dog has his day. And I don't think any 10-year-old have won this in the past decade. I started looking at that and I thought, but you just have to have faith, didn't you? And did you have a good time during that finish?
I just loved your little eyes all starting to water. And
Well, I thought I was going to get one up on TC as well. It's been about time as well.
Well done, well done.
Yeah,
It
great
was really-
selection, well played.
And the problem why I went off Midnight Shadow was because the mark is 154 in this race is historically extremely difficult. He's run a belter.
Yeah, he ran
Midnight
very well.
Shadow.
Do you know what? Wasn't that a brilliant finisher? It's what you
great
want
race.
to see.
Yeah.
I mean,
Fuzil's done
quality horse.
very well to
Fuzil's
get
ran.
fourth if you backed him each way after that shudder, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Barry called it in running and it was and
Darren
Zanza. Are we falling for Zanza next time?
No, we're not, because he's
No.
going to be well backed again. He just misses every fence. He's got so much ability. Look, if this horse could jump,
Let's
he'd
get
have
an
won that
exchange
race.
market up. Will Keeley tip it? Won't he tip it? I know which way I'm betting. They're all going to fall for it, I tell you. Listen, that was great stuff. That was the Racing Post Gold Cup. And we promised you excitement in it. We've been giving it the big and about it all week. It didn't disappoint. Isn't it good to see two old rivals fighting it out
great.
around Cheltenham? Everything good about the jumps game.
Yeah.
And we need a little bit of more positivity sprinkled upon the game. When are we going to the town more? That's the question. It's the 205. It's coming up. We're slightly more mooted now, Barry, but there's one I fancy in this. What about yourself in the 205?
Yeah, I like the favourite. Take it easy, Dave. I think that form, One More for the Road, is pretty decent. Obviously, One More for the Road has pranked it considerably in Newbury during the Laverick Trophy meeting, and he's a horse that I think is definitely heading in the right direction. He's 5.5 in the exchange. Tommy Oscar is very strong. Has to be said, it's a fiendishly difficult race, this, but I'm just coming down on the side of Take It Easy. So what we're going to do here, please, TC, we're going to set our own price here because he's on a bit of a slide now. So going to look back him at 6.0, which is bang on 5-1. So if you select back, move the odds up to 6.0, we're going to look to back him at 25 for 25 quid. That will go into the lay section. And then in the 4-place market, we're going to have a look at him there. No, don't fancy him in that. Just in the standard 3-place terms, he's about 11 to 10. We'll have 25 quid on him there as well, just to cover our stake in the win market.
Lovely stuff. TC, all on?
Yes, the place bet is matched, and we're just waiting for the win bet.
Marvellous. All right, there you are then. So, the fab for Barry. Yeah, for Pam Sly's already had a winner at the course. Her horses are revving up. Now, a couple of her owners, and they're expecting a fruitful December. So, that's interesting. I like Sonagino. I think this could be a big day for Paul Nicholls and Bryony Frost up at Doncaster. I'm hoping for Nicholls at Cheltenham as well in our next race there. But I think this chap's interesting. I'm a little bit interested. He's so easy to back. I thought that the stiffer track, I think we can say that, would really play to his strengths. He was entered at the November meeting. The ground was deemed too quick for him. It'd be interesting to see what the weather's up at Doncaster's doing. It's supposed to be raining.
It drains amazingly though, doesn't it, Doncaster?
You are Miss Doncaster. You're Miss
Oh,
Donny, aren't
gosh.
you? You do Doncaster TV and everything, don't you? You
Yeah,
know them all.
I absolutely love Doncaster. I absolutely love it. So many good memories, but seriously, it drains brilliantly. It's very fair. left-handed. It is a sort of a good galloping track.
The home straight is.
But the drainage is excellent, and I'm absolutely with you on this.
Sonagino.
Absolutely.
In those colours.
Yeah, I just, it's got the allowances being the 4-year-old Dave. That's one thing, isn't it? Only second run for Nichols. I like that as well.
Yeah.
The first run at Haydock, he was third. He ran well. It was a listed contest. Watching the replay, wasn't fluent 2 out, but that's all right. 2 out. Look, the horses do make mistakes, but it wasn't a terrible mistake. The main thing for me in this contest is that this horse, Sonagino, looks open to further improvement, and that's what you like to look for, isn't it?
The 4-year-old, absolutely. Yeah. He's going to be a chaser, isn't he? As we well know. But I would like to see maybe a little bit more. And 1-2-8. Surely he's got to be better than 1-2-8, isn't he?
Well, we've seen Paul Nicholls land a few races with 4-year-olds this year. Ilwadotto won a Newbury the other week as well. So
it's all up there, TC.
Yeah, of course it is. Look, Paul Nicholls, he's a fantastic trainer. He could be on a brilliant mark with Sonagino. I'm going to be taking him on.
We don't agree on anything today, do we?
We don't.
Which has gone badly for you in the first race.
It has. That's your one winner.
Yes. I know, you want to finish better than you start, I agree.
Yeah, exactly. Take It Easy is my pick. I'm with Barry here. 3 from 5 in his last 3 starts. He beat Tommy Zosko, who reopposes today, back at Weatherby in October, pretty comfortably as well. Last time out, bumped into One More for the Road, who we watched in this studio win a listed race at Newbury.
We
beat
did.
Captain Morgs, Gower Road, Soaring Glory. It was a red-hot race. Yes, he got an easy time of things out in front, but he won that well, which franked the form of Take It Easy, who gets to run off the same mark of 1-3-4. So that's the pick for me.
All right.
You can see
this is a 2-way split here. This is almost like 2 teams, 2 tribes.
You can see that the huge rationale behind Take It Easy has been so many tips on about Take It Easy, but I almost thought Tommy's Oscar would actually be more suited to this contest. So that put me in a bit of a conundrum, and that's when I came down on Sonagino.
And he's gone up so much, hasn't he, for that demolition job of Thibbo, who's a good horse, Thibbo, who we beat at Haydock last time.
Do you know what I thought
we could? November, which is a big Dave Betfair.
Do you know one I thought we could mention? I still don't have my eyes checked, David.
Which one? Yeah, I'm the same.
Oh yeah, obviously because we've got no non-runners in this, have we? Because clearly my internet's not working. I was going to say, I mean, this is properly like a risk. A tiny weeny peeny each way on the headbanger Rockaden.
Yes.
Because has got loads of ability though.
Alistair Ralph, who does inherit horses and gets in their mind.
Well, this is what I was going to say. Slightly smaller yard. I'm not saying he's going to give more time. What was an ex-Nichols horse? I'm just saying that with these quirky but talented horses on a small yard where they can get all the attention they need and try and work them out.
I spoke to Paul Nicholls about this chap just after he won at Taunton, and I said, what was the plan there? Because Pick Dory, if you remember, they came clear that day, and I said, he's the eye catcher when he pulled. And he goes, I don't know how that blooming thing won. He said, Rockaden. He says, absolutely.
Tapped.
Every time he does it at home, he's an absolute saint.
Yep.
But this is the right way round for him, I think.
But we don't know what will happen. This is what's interesting. He could be prominent front running, or he could be dropped in. I don't know. But I just. It
was Million in Mind, wasn't it? I think.
I had to mention it. I had to mention it because I just thought if you wanted for a really small bet, it might be a real fun.
Nothing wrong with putting a
marvellously shot. This Fav's marvellously consistent, isn't he? Take It Easy.
Yeah.
Really, really good. Paul O'Brien.
Don't talk yourself out of our bet.
No, I'm not. Don't worry, I'm Sonagino all the way. Listen, let those two. Well, if another head-to-head would be lovely here, wouldn't it? Pyramid Place is a horse that annoys me.
Well, he's another nutcase.
He is, but he's talented. Every time I see him, I hover around, and I know our community like him out there as well. What do you like in this
good
race?
pair, Paddy Brennan and Pyramid Place.
Definitely.
You
right. A good pair with Paddy Brennan on board. He's a good laugh, Paddy.
Yeah, and perfect jockey for him as well. Expect him to come late in the day. Whether you can do that so easily at Doncaster, I don't know. You always think, here we go, I'm going for it, and then you've got another 10 furlongs to go, haven't you, done that home straight? It's just on and on and on and on and on.
I should just say that the Barry's bet on Take It Easy at 6 has been matched.
Lovely. And Barry, what is who are they queuing up
Tommy's
for?
Oscar's getting smashed up into 4.2. Worth mentioning Natural History that was money for last week in Sandown before they took him out of the race because of the ground. Now, I don't know if they had much rain up in Doncaster, but obviously it's considerably softer ground than what was in Sandown last week. But he was a market mover last week, so keep an eye on Natural History.
I think the thing with him was last week it was the owner of Natural History's birthday. He had 2 runners on the card. The first one won, then they took out Natural History. I think he was more entered for a celebration.
He couldn't have been any more disappointing, could he, in the Imperial? Do you remember?
Yeah.
When he went there, and I remember interviewing Gary Moore just before that, and he beat Goshen on the flat when he was with Her Majesty, and that was enough to pay 6 figures for him. So
just hope
the talent is definitely there, like the ground.
Line up right here, because Lucky One is really
another nutcase
on
I
his
think.
toes. It's hard. It's really hard, Dave, though, to settle a horse when it's.
He started off in
around,
Mullins,
rear
of course.
in a minute.
He went to Nichols, and now he's under Bridge Andrews and Dan Scout, and you can see he is talented.
I actually really feel sorry though when they're like that, because honestly you can't tell them to calm down. Let him go. He's absolutely.
You're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't.
Yeah.
But he has jumped off, and he's around about 5 or 6 lengths off them. Lucky One, who was a big drifter in the market beforehand, and up we go, Snookered.
Oh, it's.
He's going to lead.
There.
Yeah, they're all over fine. That's not too bad. Rockaden out the back. This time, Natural History, the one that Barry said has shown some support. Interesting runner, pulling for his head like he often does. As is Geronimo up front. Donald McCain, Theo Gillard taking 5 off in his bid for
Ours
a
is a bit
4-timer.
keen, Dave.
Sonagino didn't really want to see that either. Want some cover, please. Bryony Frost there. Who, I tell you what, the smash job, unsurprisingly, Brian Hughes on the inside. Perfect place to be. Tracking him, take it easy. Pyramid place I was expecting to be out the back. He's actually a little bit closer than he often is with Rockaden and Natural History. And as I said, Lucky One, the slow starter out the back. Early impressions, TC.
Going pretty slow up front. I'd want to be on Geronimo right now. I imagine he's been punted in running. He's down to 6.8 now. But I think it was a lot bigger before the race started. Tommy's Oscar's settled really nicely. Take it easy. He's jumped a bit big at the first 2 hurdles. Sonagino's in a good position. It's early stages. They're not going very quick, so you want to be near the front.
Yeah, they're not going quick at all now, are they? And that's probably why R1's pulling. But the rest of them are as well. I'll take that.
Yes, come on. There's a few here. Absolutely. Right now, like Tommy's Oscar is not as settled. I like to see he's sort of leaning. You can see he's cutting his head to one side. Our pick, Sonagino, has been pretty keen for Bryony, but she just looks a little bit happier now. Got quite a high head carriage, Dave, because just wants to sort of pull away a bit. But like you said, now they're speeding up a bit now, so we could just see a little bit more of a better rhythm and horses settling down a bit. Yeah,
and I'm glad that Bryony Frost is tracking it. Barry, who do they like in running so far then?
Favourite Tommy's Oscar, very strong at 11-4. 5.7, Take It Easy. 5.5, Sonagino. 6.8, Geronimo. They're your market principles. But yeah, they're very sweet, and the favourite still in running at 11-4.
Yeah, he's just got that perfect sit, isn't he? Is what you want to say. I mean, Brian Hughes, we said about it, didn't we? On the Fighting Fifth Day, just one ride, a 14-1 shot in like a novice hurdle, and it won on Fighting Fifth Day. This is one of the greatest riders we've seen in the last 10 years. So it is bizarre anyway. He's on the Fav here. I'll tell you what, Pyramid Place, I know a lot of you like out there. He has got a following, this horse, because he is talented. He nearly took the Birchwood, didn't he?
He took the top off the hurdle there.
Yeah. Now they're starting to speed up a bit, TC.
Yeah, the race is starting to get on in earnest now. Sonagino and Tommy's Oscar in the perfect positions. Take It Easy seems to be following Bryony on
You
Sonagino.
happy with him?
He pulled a bit hard early.
They're all pulling.
They're all pulling.
Yeah, but he's still racing keen. I mean, Lucky One, I imagine this is a prep. Obviously lost 5 at the start, and he looks under pressure now. He might pull up, actually.
Oh, yeah. He just doesn't like racing, does he, Lucky One, I don't think.
He's losing touch.
Natural History is creeping into it. Snookered is going backwards a little bit. I'll tell you what, Rocker then keeps catching the eye. We'll see what Sonagino's got here, because he's no excuses from there.
Still pulling.
Right, we're into the home straight, but we've still got 10 miles to go. This is Doncaster. You never know, honestly. Is this 3 out? I think it is, but you've got a long way home here. All right, then now they're revving it up. Snooker's done then. Keeps, again, lots in behind have got something to say. Will they steal a break at him? Now Sonagino not letting himself down too much. Geronimo, look at Take It Easy. Oh, he's getting badly amber there, basically, isn't he? Look at that. Oh, no. Paul O'Brien. Bryony Frost didn't do too many favours there. Right, over the second last they go. And still in front, it's Geronimo. Blazing the trail. Here comes the Fav. Here comes the Fav. Tommy's Oscar. He's got him, surely, hasn't he? He must go low. There you can see it on the exchange. Proper low. Brian Hughes just taking his time.
Go on.
Lovely jump. Tell you what, he's not going down without a fight, is he? Oh, Geronimo.
He's not.
On the run-in. Who wants it the most? That's what it will be. Look at Brian Hughes getting an absolute tune out of this man. 101, Tommy's Oscar. Just going to get it in the shadows of the post. The pair basically dominated that finish. What a ride, Brian Hughes. Barry told us it was a plunge just beforehand. The late money has been landed on Anne Hamilton's likeable 6-year-old. Barry, when did they know?
He hit 6-4, jumping to second last, but your runner-up Geronimo's hit a low of 3s on 1.33. I thought it might have just gone a shade lower, but Brian Hughes, it gets into that drive position. He just carries them home, doesn't he, really? Yeah. The market spoke from it earlier. It was a dreadful race to look at. There was no pace in it. I hate watching a national hunt race and seeing horses getting hampered, for room. Like it should never happen, especially in a place like Doncaster.
You're talking about, of course, Take It Easy. You've got stops
Take
in
It Easy,
tracks,
Tom
yeah.
O'Brien. Like it's messy. That should never happen in a national hunt race. In a track as wide as Doncaster, that's just bad horsemanship there. But I don't think it affected the result anyway. The favourites.
He went for a run, didn't he?
A strong ride.
He went for the run that was, and the door just shut. Again, it's worth concentrating on this because punters hate that. Like Barry's right. You got the Town Moor.
Fair point.
You know,
It's a
and
fair
here
point.
you are all going for the same tiny gap.
It's the fair point. Like,
Yeah.
If you back the horse, you want to see the horse perform to its best merit.
He wouldn't have won, would he? You couldn't say he would have won.
Well, look, you don't know because it was.
Well, but he hasn't got up for third, has he?
No, but it was a momentum stopper.
Yeah, I
so
know.
you-
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think
it's
he
tough
would have
one,
won, but yeah,
probably
you-
cost him third at least, didn't
Yeah,
it? For
definitely,
sure.
yeah.
So if you're on that for the top three, unfortunately, Paul O'Brien went for the gap, and the door was shut. There we are. We're off and running. One of 3 races down on the Town Moor. Brian Hughes in full flight there, beating his governor's horse as well.
I'm not going to get my 6 winners, am I?
Well, no, that's. But
Could get
don't.
5 though.
Could get 5.
Be positive. Come on.
We'll
Could get
get
5.
five.
Oh, I see. You weren't going through the cards. You were going for it. You thought 1 would go down, and you were choosing the tricky race for it to happen. You could still get 5, as TC said. Positivity today here on Racing Post Live. Great to have you with us along. With 2 races down, 5 beauties to go. Really looking forward to the next at Cheltenham. There is the BSP, the Betfair starting place of Tommy's Oscar. A late plunge landed. Cool Cody took out the Racing Post Gold Cup. We'll get you all the quotes. James Stevens, our roving reporter. He's somehow
Disappointed with
sobered up in
Sonagino
time
a
to
bit.
make it down to the track.
We disappointed with Sonagino a bit.
Yeah, really disappointed.
Yeah,
Nothing under the bonnet, was there?
No, I just sort of pulled too hard, head up high.
Ground, maybe Barry.
Yeah.
Ground. Once maybe cutting the ground, I'd say,
Yeah. They haven't. Yeah, there you go. You're probably right. Yeah, he's one that just needs to keep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't have that turn of foot, does he? The work in progress there. So 2 came clear there, and we go to Cheltenham next. And I'm very much looking forward to this race. Barry teased at the top of the show this might be the one he wanted to get. Blazing Cow. We saw him on the show, of course, on the Friday of the Paddy Power meeting, where he took a lot of hurdles with him and still managed to outspeed Gino Bello up the hill. But the second favourite, Paul Nicholls, gets £5, Barry, and it's a longer trip.
Yes, although I'm not sure about the second favourite getting the trip either, because I thought he was tying up in
I agree.
last day behind Blazing Cal. Blazing Cal's 2:06 at the moment. Jelena Bello is currently 3.3. Obviously, Blazing Cal carries the penalty. 9-4, Byronese Legend. That's the one I like in the race. 23, Ballygriffin Cottage, Current Mood, 22, and 42, the other runner. But yeah, I'm just going to take the favourite on, Dave. I don't want to do anything stupid here because I'd like to lay him around even money. Ideally, if I could get him a shade of odds on. But at the moment, he's really strong. He's 2:04. There is a bit of a doubt about the second in getting the trip, Jelena Bello. But like I said, I like the Ollie Murphy horse with Aidan Coleman on it, Byronese Legend. So we're going to look to lay the favourite. But we look to lay him at even money and take 50 quid out of him, please, TC. So 2.0, 50 quid. And that'll just go up and wait for someone to come in and lay a stat bet. And if they don't, well, that's okay. If they do, I'm happy to be a layer at evens.
Thank you, Barry. All right, and one of the hot pots of the day, taking him on. He did that, of course, with Chacun Poursoir. You remember when we had Barry didn't phone in from the track last week. And it
was
proved-
great, wasn't it?
I mean, they said he was a bit stiff after the Chacun Poursoir, didn't they? But it was a lot of people saying he gets homesick.
Well,
and
not
all
that
sort
bit
of
was
stuff.
great. I mean, calling him from the track.
The call-ins we had
Not
from the
that.
track last week were the best we've ever done. They
Yeah,
were
it was cool.
absolutely fantastic.
My
Gee, well done,
unpopular opinion on Chacun Poursoir is that he's also a quitter. He's a flat track bully. When he can get out in front into a rhythm, he just beats up his opposition. When he gets pressed,
Good
chucks
time
in.
to be coming out of the woodwork with that, isn't it?
Well, I did. To be fair, I thought it before Cheltenham last year. But yeah, I mean, I genuinely don't hold him in as high a regard as plenty do.
Yeah, they do at home there. And they're really revving up. Paul Townend back with a winner in the first today at Fairy House.
2, I think.
2, of course.
Statler as well.
Yeah. Again,
We've seen 3
Paddy's
fantastic.
going to have to sit back on a few now, isn't he? He's had his moment in the sun.
3 fantastic novice chases already today. My Drogo, Statler, Blue Lord.
Yeah, let's have a word
Yeah.
about my Drogo. Finally got over the line. That was remarkable scenes, wasn't it? On the show that Friday that we had it. He was given a more no-nonsense ride, shall we say, this time. Trimmed, Barry, wasn't he, for the Marsh chase, but only adjusted. He did what he had to, didn't he?
Yeah, 7 from 8 for the Marsh. What was it? 5-2 on chance. Obviously, that Marsh market is dominated by Bob Ollinger, so you don't know where they're going to go. But yeah, he jumped around sweetly today. He showed a bit of cleverness at some of his fences as well. So it was good to see him get back on track. Blue Lord was impressive enough in the first at Fairy House. He got a quote as well. I think we put him in at around 20-1 for that Marsh race. Yeah, that's shaping up to be a real hottie at the festival, that Marsh Novices Hurl, if they all rock up there. Although, obviously, they have alternatives now within that sphere, but it'd be great if they could all get there.
That's the problem, isn't it? I think at this time of the season, working out where the chess pieces will go on the board, it's tough, isn't it?
It would have been great if Bob Ollinger obviously ran today against My Drogo, because then we could have matched them up against each other. But I was really impressed with My Drogo. Now I know he had to beat nothing.
I was.
But I thought he jumped really well.
Strange entry. Why do they do it? Just to have a little look?
Maybe. But I genuinely thought he jumped really well today, and people were saying
that entry
he can't jump.
I want to know more about that. Why?
Who says that?
Everyone on Twitter. I don't believe it. He
What, are
jumped
they all watching
brilliantly.
a different horse to me?
He missed one.
My Drogo's a phenomenal jumper.
I think he's
They've been getting on his
brilliant
back
jumper.
again today, have they?
But yeah, it's all
Of
over
course he
Twitter.
can jump. That's an absolute load of tripe.
Yeah, I think he's fantastic.
Naughty
Horse is a
people
phenomenal
out there.
jumper. Remember, he's still
He's only had
still
2
learning.
chase starts.
Like, just oh my god, like you nuts. Like,
And he's got the Cheltenham tick finally.
Exactly. I mean, he should have had Cheltenham tick off to the first run this year. He would have won that day. When...
horse can jump. He's
Yeah,
just still got a little bit to learn. Like he's
Yeah.
just trying to, they don't.
Exactly.
They're not born. Like they're not born chasers. You got.
No.
It just drives me nuts.
In my opinion, Harry made a mistake when he fell against Gin on Lime. And then today, yes, he missed one down the back. But the great thing about My Drogo is the fact that he doesn't get really tight and then clatter through it. If he wants a big one, My Drogo will give you that big one. And
Such scope,
Yeah, exactly.
natural scope is amazing, and they've got to learn. And what's great about Skelton as well, IBC, they've got to learn on a race course.
Precisely.
Do all the schooling in the world at home, over the barrels, obviously the round barrels, get them to tuck in and learn, and then they go over the sequences to get them to stretch. But then they've got to do it on the day with the buzz. So
if a horse falls or makes one mistake, everyone bans them as a they can't
Yeah,
jump.
no.
But this horse can jump. My Drogo is a brilliant jumper.
yeah, I agree.
No problems with ground because it is pretty quick according to the times. We're done now with fences for the day at Cheltenham. We've got 3 hurdles coming up for you, but I can tell you that Cool Cody was only slowed by 2.46x. That's proper good ground time. That is.
And they didn't even go that hard early either in that race. Well, obviously to the first they did, but after they studied it.
Editor Dajit then, who didn't hang around, did he? Of course, in the 1:15, he was slowed by 5 seconds. So again, we're talking about it is pretty much what it says.
Yeah,
on the tin,
that looked
isn't it?
fun though.
Which will do.
That looked a real fun.
Gary Moore's winner of the 3rd race, who's going to take in the game spirit. We're hearing.
Oh, really?
So he's going to go and take on the big boys now, the Grenadines of this world, and whoever's coming over. What did we make of Energamine the other day as well? That was machine Barry.
Barry,
Serious racehorse.
You're getting better than
Serious racehorse.
Dave. Energamine, the machine. Hey, you could get a job doing Racing Post titles.
Oh yes, what he's been waiting for. That's all good. You only get 22 characters. No one wants to do that. Yeah, he's a machine then, Barry.
He's a serious racehorse. Yeah, that what he did in Cork when he got taken on early by an absolute headbanger of a horse, but a very talented horse, and be able to put him away and still maintain that gallop to the line. That was really, really special.
What price is he now for the champion on this sports book?
Oh, jeez, the last time I looked, he
He
was short.
was 5s going into it, wasn't he? Which seemed
Yeah, I
it
think
seemed
we
the
cut him
bet,
into
didn't it?
5-2 off the back of that.
Who's got 5s out there? Let us know.
It's got a really cool
now-
name, Energamine.
Now he's trading. Yeah, he's 9-4, 7-4 Shishkin, 6 Grenadine, 10 Chacun Poursoir.
And you're obviously with Energamine, I'm assuming, if the race was run.
Oh,
tomorrow.
no, he looks great now. I can't wait to see Siskin out again, though.
Yeah.
And then, you have to be able to see the 2 of them out before you'd make any judgment call around the champion chase. But you couldn't have wished for a better start to the campaign. First time in open company from Energamine than what he did in the Hillyway.
Yeah, he's just so uncomplicated, isn't he?
Yeah,
he hasn't got the Cheltenham tick, though, like Shishkin does. Are we looking at, as good as our Tingle Creek winner was last Saturday, the race also sort of fell apart a little bit. Nuva Negra didn't turn up, neither did Chacun Poursoir. Are we now looking at what we thought we'd see at the start of the season? Is it playing out? Is this now the match race in the champion chase?
Well, I think so. Everyone was obviously hoping for the match last year, weren't we, with Shishkin and Energamine, and Energamine didn't turn up. Let's hope they both get to Cheltenham this year, because it will be one of the best races of the festival. They're 2 phenomenal horses. Obviously, we haven't seen Shishkin yet. We presume he's improved potentially from last year, and I just can't wait for the match. I'd be with Shishkin at this stage, but Energumene has the advantage of having that such high cruising speed.
I honestly don't know at the moment.
No.
We need to wait for Shishkin to come out, don't we?
I'm on the fence.
It's unlike me to be like this, but I thought Shishkin going in, but I was very like Barry. He's a right old dynamite horse.
They're both very good. Great.
What does Energumene mean?
Yeah, I know. Obviously, Wheel of Death is spinning around. It's got a really cool
It doesn't
meaning,
mean
but maybe
that,
that's
does it?
for our viewers to Google because
Yes,
I
let
remember
us know what
Googling-
it means.
means like I think it's like a fiery or something character, like quite a extravagant character. Google it, Energumene. Or
Someone who's got time out there.
Yeah,
and
if you've got
internet
time and
can do it.
internet, go do it. I've tried. I'll look later.
But well, that was nice. There was a piece about the Champion Chase. Who's got the fives before it crashed after when he took out the Hillywell and Energumene? Who's keeping the faith with Shishkin? Is it just about those two?
Possessed by an evil spirit.
Thank you,
Hey,
Barry.
there we go.
Isn't it a really cool meaning though? Because I remember Googling it. I was like, oh, what's that word? I thought it was like, person possessed by an evil
We all
spirit.
know an Energumene, don't we? We're all thinking.
Definitely.
We all know an Energumene.
There's definitely one in everyone's family.
All right, who's the Energumene in this race? You both, come on, let's get this out of the way. This is just fav wins for the both of you, isn't it?
Do you want to take the floor? No.
Yes.
Go on.
Yes, I'm absolutely all over Blazing Cal in this. I can see where Barry Orr's coming from with Barony Legends here because it was really impressive, wasn't it? That 27 length victory.
Yes.
But
I was worried about the ground for him.
It was a maiden hurdle as well.
Yeah.
To put it into context.
He looked like he wanted to be running in the Ida already.
Yeah, Blazing Cal is genuinely my real excitement for the Albert Bartlett.
Charles Burns came out in the week and said it's his
Genuinely.
best horse. I mean, that probably means he's shadowing one for the Coral Cup or something. But
But then you got the £5 penalty, but then it doesn't.
all I
it doesn't
remember
really
about
work.
Blazing Cal is I remember doing the call when we were in with Bruce when we were in on that fateful Friday with my Drogo, and we're watching the replay now. He didn't look convincing at all. He hit a few hurdles, so he did get better the further he went. I think Giuliano Bello is going to outstay him.
No way.
No way.
Oh yeah, baby.
I back
This is
Giuliano-
happening.
Dave.
I
I'm
backed
telling you,
Giuliano Bello. I
this
backed
is happening.
Giuliano Bello in this race that we're just watching the replay now on the screen.
He gets done for a turn of foot by him.
He
We're
was
watching him jump the
He
last
was
here.
travelling by far the best route. He was in the
Watch
perfect
Giuliano
position.
Bello. He doesn't tie up.
Like, you can't be out the first two there.
Blazing Cal just moves away from him, and you're stepping up and trip. And
I
Which
think.
is a positive.
Yeah,
Look,
exactly.
he's coming back. He's coming back. I tell you, he's been outspeeded by Gilly.
there's no,
by
he's not
Blazing
eroding
Cal.
that deficit.
That
That has not been eroded.
he's got £5 and he's got a longer trip.
Okay, now here's a question for you, because this is something I don't necessarily believe in. £5 swing for 3 mile hurdlers, I don't think means anything. 3 miles, £5 on the back
What,
of
and they're-
on
what, and
the
they're
back
neck
of a
and neck up the
1 ton
hill?
horse.
Wait, stops, trains, TC. I know
Not
maybe,
in 3 mile
maybe not
hurdles.
around fairgrounds it doesn't.
Not in 3 mile hurdles.
It does at
£5.
Prestbury Park.
I don't think so.
Oh, we're getting
What
heated
is
in
it?
here.
Short head.
It-
It'd be the short head with the weight.
You'd have to say it. You have. This is why we'd never let you loose on analysis.
If it's a sprint, okay, for example, then yeah, it would make a difference. But there's such narrow margins. But there aren't going to be. Okay, yes, if it is a short head, then you can use that as an
I'll
excuse.
have to get
but
my old red pen out with you, TC. I can tell.
How can you say £5 on the back of a 1 ton horse makes a difference?
It's weight in the saddle cloth is what it's all about, TC. That's what I'm
Expanding
I
energy.
disagree.
Tom,
I'm
they're
t-
expanding
weight
energy.
stops trains.
I disagree, but that's fine.
Oh, goodness me.
Good job it's a horse, not a train.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, the
do
Star
you,
Spangled Banner does not agree. All
What
right.
do you two think of this Ballygriffin Cottage? Because I just thought it was interesting, right? This is, I hope this doesn't come out the wrong way. Is this a great day out for the owners at Cheltenham? You know, a bit of fun at Cheltenham, got a runner. How great is that?
Well-
or could this just be anything? Like, we don't know.
So this is Dan Skelton, Harry
Straight
Skelton.
integrated
You'd want to
company.
see money for it, wouldn't you, first and foremost?
That's exactly what I've written. Market check.
If they've got a horse that comes in off the back of 3 wins in points, you want to, the colours, from my
Jeremy
mind.
Scott.
Yeah,
usually
who's
has
the
plenty.
thing that was in the handicap at Cheltenham and again
Kisses
made
for
loads of
Katie?
errors? And,
Is that it?
oh, God, blimey, it was at the November meeting. I can't remember these owners, but they have got
It's
fails.
just a fact-finding mission for
Probably
them, isn't it?
is.
Just
yeah,
to see
to
where they
find
stand.
out. Yeah.
Probably is.
And the pointer he beat last time is only 3 from 23 in his
We've
career.
got a social up. Paul Bakewell says, not convinced at all about Blazing Cal. I've always spoken well of you, Paul Bakewell. Always. You're starting to warm up. He's cooking with gas, Paul Bakewell. No? Too many,
Oh, my
too many
God.
chefs.
Terrible.
Untasteful. move on quickly. I could keep going, that's the thing. So I give you a quote from Evan Williams on Cool Cody. Don't worry about what he does in future. Every time he's gone to the racecourse, he turns up. If he never wins another race, that was the big day for us. He's won a Paddy Power now and a Racing Post.
That's a nice thing to say.
And he is one of those rare breeds. He's tough and he faces the music every time. Well spoken about.
That's
This
a nice
lovely,
thing to say, isn't it?
lovely horse who will be a course 11 next year. He's going crazy, isn't it? Absolutely mad.
We're all
Still
getting older.
thrilled with that. Well, it's Gelino Bello for me. It's Blazing Cal for the two obvious ones in here.
Yep.
And Barry likes Barony Legends with a lay of the Fav. What's the market saying as they line up, Barry?
Yeah, it's the field for me. We got matched at even money. It's 206 now. Blazing Cal 3.3. Gelino. Barney is 7.8 and a 20 bar.
Okay, all right, good stuff. All right, Harry Cobden, what's he going to do? Is he going to try and get first one on Blazing Cal? When Blazing Cal walks through the second last, that's when he needs to kick on, right?
It looks like Harry Cobden's going to be last early.
No, it looks like it's going to crack on, doesn't it? Aidan Coleman.
Current mood, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, the mare's got a chance, doesn't he? Evan Williams on a
It'd
quick
suit
double.
Blazing Cal if this is a real test of stamina. I'm not sure that will suit Gelino Bello, though.
I don't know, it's amazing, isn't it? Again, novices, it can really polarise opinion. And we are off and running. And interestingly, I guess that's one up to to my opponents here on the panel this afternoon. Gelino Bello being ridden with stamina in mind.
They don't
As
look like
is
they're going
Blazing
very
Cal.
quick.
They are.
Ooh.
Let's
They
have it
are.
over the first. He's, all over it,
No,
absolutely
going
fine.
slow, crawling.
What were they? Around about even money, just under 2-1 were they on the exchange when they went off, Barry, the two market leaders?
Yeah, evens 5-2.
Yeah, all right, okay. Well, yeah, there you go, 5-2. The exchange is the place to be because I saw 7-4 on the track just before they jumped off. And, as expected, the big confirmed stayer in the pack. Over he goes, Barony Legends for the Morans and Ollie Murphy and Aidan Coleman. It was so sad that about Dostal Phil, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I've been on the floor about that. And current mood, Adam Wedge, Evan Williams, the Cool Cody team. They're in second. There's a break back to Lofturg Rocco for Laura Morgan and Sean Bowen. And then, of course, the one that we don't know anything about, Ballygriffin Cottage, apart from the fact he loves point-to-pointing. He's in fifth at the moment as well. Blazing Cal, going fine. Gelino Bello, trekking his old market rival. What are we thinking, Nat? You're pulling a face.
Because I knew you were going to say what you're thinking, Nat. And
I mean, that's why you're here.
that's exactly why I'm here. I'm meant to be here. Well, not a lot really, because they're all jumping okay.
I know, it is difficult sometimes, this job, isn't it, when you're doing this show? What do you reckon? I'd go to Barry. What do you think of the market? What do you reckon they think of the market?
Well, they
you're going through the motions a bit, aren't you?
They all look pretty much almost where I expect them to be be honest with you.
All right, here's a question for Barry then, seeing as, thank goodness I'm in the chair. Now, he's right out the back, Barry, Gelino Bello. Surely that 5-2.
9-2.
Yeah.
Had a Betfair SP of 11-4, 8-9-2. So that's a significant one in the market, really, off the back of the way it's being ridden. Obvious doubts about it staying, and that looks to be coming to fruition by the way he's out stone cold last. And your favourite's gone odds on off the back of that would be part of it, but that he's jumping well, and it looks like obviously he's going to end up having to track through Barony's Legend. But the market's suggesting that Gelino Bello won't get the trip.
Yeah, I mean, which to me, because they've only jumped 3 hurdles and they're crawling, that interests me on him because I still believe in it.
I'd say they're crawling, like they're going 30 miles an hour, aren't they?
Well, but
like what's going fast for this class? 33, 34?
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, I mean, we always look at the clock, don't we? Which isn't always right. Sometimes we should say on RTV. Loads of analysts have been calling that out recently. I mean, he's now slowed it down to 28 mile an hour. That would be below the standard. So ain't no Coleman. Oh, we did this last.
we did this last week.
I mean, we did this last show. Barry was saying Barry O'Or, Tom O'Collins, Natalie Green, Dave Orton.
Yeah, I love that you keep the faith, Dave. That's what I love
Aidan
about
Coleman
you. But
basically has got an easy one.
I would not be on Gelino Bello right now, personally.
I think he wants to be going a bit quicker than Harry. He's saying to Harry, come on, I want to get on with this. And I should ask you that question, really.
Who's talking about, Gelino Bello?
Well, your horse at home always wants to go quicker than you want him to, right? You
Oh,
always
yeah,
tell
my
me that.
horse is always...
So that looks like... Am I wrong about Gelino?
No,
if they were having a conversation now...
I think he wants to be on a different race course.
Can we get on with it, please, he's saying, isn't he? Yeah, right, he wants to be on a different race course. Oh, they're getting fiery in here. They are really hoping that Blazing Cal takes this out.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's a real stop-start gallop here. Aidan Coleman keeps speeding up and slowing down on Barony Legends. He's actually jumping the best of the field.
Yeah.
He's making half a length at every hurdle so far. I would also not want to be on Gelino Bello at this stage.
Historically, Coney Gree has won this race. King's Palace, a good horse. Black Lion, wasn't it great to see him back the other day? You know what I mean, Harry, was the one that did the Albert Bartlett double. It can happen with the right horse in this race. Who will it be? We're going to find out. They're on the far side. And they're just closing a little bit, aren't they?
Oh, Gelino made a hit that. There you go.
This isn't going well. This is not going well. I actually napped this at the weekend as well. Barry, okay, we're around, 5 out, I think.
Yeah, 1.90 now, Blazing Cal. Not jumping with any great fluency, really. Your favourite 5, Byronese Legend. Gelino Bello 5-5, and it's 21 bar.
He did this last time, Blazing Cal. If you remember, Barry, we weren't too happy with this. So when they win, and they're not, I mean, you've got all to improve, isn't it? I wouldn't let that put me off too much. This is interesting, isn't it? The cottage horse. He's got some ability, isn't he?
Yes. You're talking about the
Fav.
Valley Griffin.
Yeah.
Valley
On the
Griffin.
outside.
Yeah.
No,
this is actually, quite pleasing so far. I'm just nicely creeping into the.
But Donald McKerney, he's now sensing it, isn't he? And Harry Cobb's trying to cover him, but you just get the sense that, there's only one to be with, and the market's probably bearing that out, isn't it? I would imagine he's gone really short now. TC. Look at TC, look, all happy and relaxed. Look.
Yeah, and relaxed.
Not a bead of sweat, unlike me.
He's travelling nicely in behind
This
the
is
pace.
going to be 1-1, I think, isn't it?
Barony Legends is the only danger at the moment, I'd say.
Yeah, so will it be up front? Now they're starting to get racing. They've gone up to 34 mile an hour.
He's had the way of it, hasn't he, Barony Legends, and sort of been able to get into that nice rhythm up front.
Running all right. Okay, we're coming second last. Oh, yeah, again, that.
Ooh,
I told you he'd walk through that. Right
Flip.
about one thing in this race. Now, Gelino Bello, this is where Harry Cobden, he's riding him to beat the Fav, and the dangers are probably all in front, I would imagine. Gelino Bello not looking great. Look at this.
Come on, we've got to have a bit of tenacity here now.
5-2 on now, even after making
Oh, he's absolutely cruising,
Blazing's
isn't he?
got to
Charles
show us
Burns said in the week,
tenacity.
this is the best I've got. Here comes Buddy Griffin Cottage, though, launching at it. What's he got to Fav? Gelino Bello at the inside.
got
Not
plenty.
totally done with
Come
Gelino
on.
Bello. Come on, Harry.
Come on,
goodness
Blazing
sake, don't
Cal,
just
he's
sit
got
there. Yes, he's
plenty.
all over, isn't it?
It's one by margin.
Yeah, okay.
Come on.
Yeah,
That £5 swing's really helping.
Get up, get up, get up.
A bit slow.
He just looked at it.
He stays well.
He
stays well.
He's just going to get him up the hill. This is just a very good horse we're looking at. The £5 is not
difference.
making much of a difference,
Makes no
you have to say. He's sprinting away, this horse.
It's not because the second doesn't stay.
Yeah, the
second does.
I tell you, we have to say he stays.
Yeah, definitely.
And that is just a very good horse.
Yeah.
All right, Barry, he clouted the second last, as we thought might be the case, because that's when they started really racing. Only until then, what spike did he hit?
He didn't hit any big spike at all. He was odds on even because he gathered him up within a stride or two, and he's still travelling best. When you look what was in front of him, he had a couple of 25-1 chances. So didn't trade at odds against at any stage after that, Dave, to tell you the truth. Gelino Bello, for me, I don't think he stayed. He rode him to get the trip, and he's just, I don't think you'll see him trying 3 miles again soon, that's for sure. Not in this season. Maybe when he goes chasing later on, but not this year.
Yeah, it's hard to disagree with that, actually.
I think he did stay. Maybe he didn't stay as well as the winner.
5 from 8 for the Albert Bartlett, the winner.
Yeah, there's the 5 from 8. Did you say on the sportsbook?
Yeah, for the Albert
And there's
Bartlett.
the exchange market. Look, you can see there. Who we got in there? Ginto
Johnny
put
with
himself
me.
up, didn't he? Hollow Games.
It's nice as well.
maroon colours.
I looked at TC there. I was like, I thought, oh God, please don't lose momentum. He's got to have a bit of, he's got all the ability, but a bit of tenacity here. This is when I thought he's got to want it a little bit in this particular moment of the race when he made that little mistake, that blunder, and then they start to squeeze up. But he just found it so easy, and also I know he's got the ring bit in, but Dave, he's just got a noseband on. He's got no grackle holding him. He's got no fancy bits on. He's got no sheepskin on. It's just like a proper. I love to see this.
If I was interviewing Charles Burns after this, I'd be asking him if he's the best horse he's trained. Now,
no way.
Who was that? What was his name? That champion.
Solwit.
Solwit. Thank you, Barry Orr. How good was he?
He was very good.
Could this be another Solwit? This is what I'm saying. If Charles Burns is not, look, a horse like that, someone like Charles Burns, who gets the pleasure out of plotting horses like he does, if he could have got that even in a Coral Cup, that's a fast horse, isn't it, a stayer?
Well, lads, what sort of races do you think they've been that he's won? Those 2 races in Cheltenham.
He's beaten the same horse, Barry, hasn't he? So I guess Nichols holds the key to this.
Moderate enough races, I'd say. They're 2 moderate races.
Well, Barry Griffin Cottage, it depends how you view him. Has he run a sledger, or is he a 20-1 shot that was coming from point to point? He's run up. He's
run a good race. He quickened off the bend nicely, but at the same time, Gelino Bello still beat him, and Gelino Bello was under pressure from a long
I think
long way
Gelino
out.
Bello's actually run well there. But listen, I put up Called Cody in the first, and I'll be seething now all night about this Giannino Bello. Mainly because you two are right, and I was totally wrong.
I'm just pleased we've got a winner, no matter even if it was.
The 5-timer is on Natalie Green.
It's on.
Are you
Matt,
sensing
did you
it?
tip a winner?
Yes.
He said that with a tinge of surprise there, didn't he?
I meant, did you tip that winner?
He wouldn't have said that on Monday in person, I can tell you, when he was pouring that champagne.
Barry was very chivalrous.
Well, there we are. Yes, okay, fair enough.
I have to
Unlike
say,
the rest of us.
although the horse was very impressive, Blazing Cow is improving, I wouldn't be taking that price for the Albert Bartlett.
Because you think some of the Irish horses, we don't even know what Mullins has got going for it, do
I
we?
really love Journey with Me. If he goes to the Albert Bartlett instead of
here
the
we
Ballymore,
go.
This
the
was
ring the bell. The first mention of this is his horse to follow.
Yeah, this is my horse to follow for the season. Yeah, he won a Gore and Bumper really easily. I don't know where they haven't seen him yet this year.
Is this the boss's Oscar of 2022?
Well, yeah, he's much better than the boss's Oscar. He's the Bob Ollinger.
But that was your long range pick,
yes,
wasn't
exactly. Yeah, he's my. Well, I've had 2 anti-post Cheltenham bets. He's one of them.
And what's the other one?
Buzz for the stayers. After
that was.
I'm hoping
that was awesome. I love it.
in the next race gets advertised because I really like Song for Someone.
I just hope someone clarifies. Is it Bob Ollinger or Bob Ollinger?
I think it's.
I think it's Gurr because of the shootout. Boom, boom. Not champagne. Bob Ollinger.
You had to do it. You had to do it.
I think it's Bob Ollinger.
What do you reckon, Barry?
What do you reckon? Is it Ollinger or Ollinger, Barry?
I call it Bob Ollinger, but I never get any names right, so it wouldn't be asking me. I'm probably the worst judge to ask.
No comment. Yeah, okay. So it's all about the future with the Albert Bartlett. Have we seen the Albert Bartlett winner? Will he go and do it? You know what I mean, Harry, and follow up. He's a right tool, isn't he? And sometimes you look at a gift horse with these. You know, what is the division going to be like? If he has won Mickey Mouse races around there, fine. It might be a top 4 for Blazing Cow, but I think we can say he's a player. We've got
definitely.
Yes, I know he's anti-post favourite. That's a bit anti-post favourite. What are you talking about? But there's so much water to go under the bridge, still, isn't there?
There's so much can.
He's short enough for what, considering we haven't seen any of his main rivals yet.
Yeah, if I was being offered a lot of places, I'd be thinking about that. Anyway, we'll see what Charles Burns says, but I'd be asking him to compare him to Solbert at this stage if that was moi at the course. Right, so all about the future with the Albert Bartlett. Shall we have a look at the Triumph Hurdle Globe? And Porticello, Barry, now that Magistrato has come out of our next at Donny, it is the Summit. It's been won by some proper juveniles over the year. Is Porticello one?
He's 2.80, so very strong at that, at the head of the market. Impulsive 1, 5.5, 5.5 Night Salute, 2 Friendly 5.8, Sacre Pierre 15.5, and it's 22. Bar obviously Magistrato out, yeah. Worthy favourite, has to be said, Dave, but I'm going to look to take him on with Impulsive 1. There's very little pace that I can see in this race. So Impulsive 1 is a pace angle, and I think he's going to trade shorter in running. I was just, if you're going on a line through Night Salute, he's £12 better off with him for the 2.5 odd lengths that he beat him when they met previously. So James Bone, front runner. I think he's going to trade shorter runners. What we'll do, we're going to have 50 quid on him at 5.4, please, TC. And then we're going to look to take our stake back out in running. And I'm hoping that we might get him as low as evens. So what we're going to do is look to lay him at 2.0 for 50 quid. And we'll select the keep bet tab in our bet slip. So once the race goes in play, our bet stays live. And we'll keep you informed whether we get matched in running there.
Lovely stuff. All right, Impulsive 1 for James Bowen, Nicky Henderson, Munir and Isaac Swade. Hang on, the reason why I'm looking down to see if they've won this before. Someone tells me Peace & Co won this race. In my mind, I haven't actually done the 10 years. Let's have a look. Did he? Am I right? Hey, I can see it. No, I can't see it. Oh yeah, I can. And Who Dares wins. This was, of course, in 2014, 2015, considered a proper Triumph trial. Montmiral.
We Have a Dream also won this race.
We Have a Dream, an ancient Grade 1 winner. Sadly ill-fated We Have a Dream. Cliffs of Dover, good horse, wasn't he? Keldestar. We're talking about proper Fox Norton, Kashmir Pete, Roll Bonsai. So look, this can throw him up. Again, talked to Tom Malone about these lot, and I said, who do you fancy? He goes, none, I've got 4 better at home. You've probably seen that line out there now. He only gave us 1. The Nichols thing that will go off 10s on him probably comes second on its debut. But he doesn't really think, he thinks this is just no bearing on the Triumph whatsoever. TC, what do you reckon?
It's a race that I don't really have a strong view in. I'm going to put on Night Salute because I thought it was impressive at Cheltenham, but at the same time...
G-Rod's nap of the weekend.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That gives me some confidence, but at the same time, it's not a race that I would be...
Thinly veiled.
No, it's not a race that I could have that much confidence in. We don't know too much about these horses. Khaleesi's interesting for David Pipe. First time over jump since moving from William Haggis.
Yeah, no money for it though at all, is there?
Exactly, that's a negative. And
tough race to
Porticello, Gary Moore, I think, has only ever had one juvenile run at Wetherby. Definitely in the last 5 years, and that was Porticello when he won. So
we all think this is going to win, don't we? Now that Magistrata is out, I think this will win. You're not sure?
I'm not sure, mainly because of the price. Is he not a bit short, 13 to 8?
Yeah,
the 5-timers on with?
It's making me feel hungry actually, that name, Porticello. It reminds me of like
Porticello.
eating pasta or something.
Yes, absolutely. Porticello mushrooms. Porticello Road.
Porticello Road. Oh, we could just
Porticello
carry
Market.
on all day. Porticello Market. Even with Magistrato in him, obviously both, like I said earlier, from Cotan in that same toy race, so it would have been bought for a fortune. Kind of cool story in this race really, because you look at Porticello, who would have been expensive, then look at Night Salute. Night Salute, 14,000 guineas in the summer, cheap as chips, already won just over £38,000. So it's a great story, and also can't totally knock 3 from 3 over hurdles, but I am Porticello. Sorry, I'm going on. I'm quite excited about this race actually.
Is he going to lead? Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
he is, which I don't mind seeing that whatsoever. So could this be Goshen Mark 2? That's what they're hoping for, isn't it? And he's a horse that definitely stays a bit well. They don't want it messing around. He wasn't brilliant over his hurdles at Wetherby. In what listed race has had a mixed history over the last couple of years. Too friendly out the back, pulling really hard. What's that right out the back?
That new reality, that didn't jump well at all.
So Nigel Hawke and Dave Noonan.
I actually thought Too Friendly could have a real squeak in this.
Keep your eye on Khaleesi here, TC. He was a horse that I quite liked on the flat.
Yeah, he's definitely going to go on my tracker no matter
You know
what
what?
happens.
Enzo spoke to his great mate Dave Probert about this horse, and I think he was doing a bit of homework on it. So he goes, it's really slow one day at Salisbury.
Oh, really?
Enzo was there commentating. Of course, it beat the horse we were on. It was like one of those days where I was like, you absolute buffoon.
Talking about Enzo and Probert, he's backed him for the All-Weather Championship and won't stop texting me about it.
Oh, really?
Honestly, do you know what? I'm not missing those days right now. I'm delighted to be in the middle of the jump season. Night Salute, where's he then? G-Rod's Nat, right in the middle, covered up. He's got the Brian Hughes seat, hasn't he? Paddy Brennan.
Yeah, Impulsive One's pretty keen. Looks really like he wants to get on with things.
Yeah, he's got that wind up, isn't it? And
He's going, yeah, he can fly. He's really giving a good
right. Is that what they do, is it? Yeah, just like, yeah, come on, let's go.
Yeah, let's
charge.
go, yeah.
Khaleesi's pulling hard, but it's really jumping nicely on hurdling debut.
Where is Brian Hughes? This time, interestingly, on the outside on Sacre Pierre. All right, Barry, then we've had 4 hurdles. The market, the favourites in front, does it love it?
He's a Betfair SP at 2.47 and he's trading 2.34, so no massive injection of price diminishing there. 5.5 Impulsive One, 5.4 Night Salute, 7.62 Friendly, who seems to be pulling very hard. Again, it looks like there's no pace.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of them that haven't seemed to be settled.
Messy races so far, isn't it, Donny?
Night Salute's been a bit messy. Again, they're just not quite...
He's got lucky with the ground, I think, Night Salute, because he wanted quick ground on the flat, and it's just all, it's, you know, they're kicking the top of it, but the rain hasn't arrived. We've got an interesting chase coming up where I think the ground will be key in that, and I was expecting the rain to have fallen. It hasn't so far. So 2 friendly under Bridget Andrews for Dan Skelton, her governor, right out the back. He's jumped that well. Interesting, the comments, wasn't it, in the paper by Gary. He doesn't do much at home, so no hiding places. They're going to find out here, aren't they? They've got flat horses in behind him, TC. Would you be taking out the price, or? Yeah,
he's in the perfect position. They haven't gone hard early, so he's in the vanguard, basically. If he's good enough, he'll win from there. It's a bit weird that they've gone left-handed on both starts because he's jumping out to his right. I think it'd be better around a right-handed track.
Not ideal if you've got a juvenile, of course.
No, but Khaleesi's still going nicely in behind. I imagine he'll probably pay for the exertions early in the straight.
He's still pulling.
He is.
Yeah, he's a horse that does stay well on the flat. Yeah. So. Night Salute starting to warm up then. Impulsive One. James Bowen would have been enjoying his spin, but has he gone too quick? Said Natalie Green. We'll find out. 2 friendly, unbeaten so far, but surely been too keen, hasn't he? Or could he come whizzing past in this mammoth home straight of which we are approaching? Right, and Barry, we're getting to the business end. All about the Fav still?
He's still trading around the 6 to 4 mark there. He's into 11 to 10 now. Impulsive One, 5.556 Night Salute.
All right, okay, Khaleesi still catching the eye. Barry's impulsive one, right in pole position. If he doesn't come up, and he just left his legs in that a little bit. Not ideal. Look at James Bowen sensing it now. We'll find out what Porticello's got. Knight salute. Paddy Brennan waiting in the wings. He doesn't want to produce him like he did at Cheltenham. This is a quicker race, though. And that was better from Porticello. What are we going to find out what he's got? Look at Too Friendly. Proper fast horse he is. He's coming into it. Go on, Porticello, then. Let's see what we got here. Okay, what's the weight differential between them? They're on levels. So, there's I'll tell you what, 4 horses coming to it. All on the last jump here. Porticello up, okay. Knight Salute's going to take his measure here. Oh, yeah, they're sprinting away from him. The Porticello bubble well and truly burst. He needs further, doesn't he? No doubt in that. Paddy Brennan, G-Rod right again. Isn't it infuriating? TC with him as well. Impulsive one on the inside. Definitely further for Porticello. Yeah. He's the national hunt horse against the flat ones. Oh, he slipped there a little bit. He even stood up in his reins. Knight Salute. Well done, G-Rod. If you've been watching him and his previews and the feature shows he's done, he knew that final flight mistake cost Porticello Barry Orr.
Yeah, it certainly did. Yeah, I'm just looking to see if we've got matched on Impulsive One, who hit a low of 3.75 is the lowest Impulsive One traded at.
Wow.
Porticello traded at a low of, in running, traded at a low of 1.39, so 2 to 5 for Porticello. Knight Salute traded at a high of 9.0, so 8 to 1 for him in running.
He's a
which
stayer,
he'd a Betfair SP of 6.02 for the resurgent Milton Harris.
Wow, really? That's big, isn't it?
I actually think, to be honest with you, I'm not just saying this was my tip. I actually think that was a fab run from Porticello. I think he was just typically, as you expect from a juvenile, he was a bit green. Well, he didn't know what he didn't get it. He was like, why are you pulling me away? You know, when he tried to pull him off.
2 horses that I'd be taking out of that. If they can get Too Friendly to settle, they've got a racehorse there over hurdles. The fact that he even had any business coming into the frame whatsoever after pulling like that is a big thing. Impulsive One is probably what he is, isn't he? You'd be your friend Winter Horse probably in the pack. Porticello, I think he's making those mistakes because it's all happening a bit quickly for him. I think these ex-French juveniles, they usually jump really, really well.
Look at the size of him compared to the other 2 around him. He's a chaser in the making.
And he's coming back. He actually has done well to get second again. So.
I thought he looked really nice.
Knight Salute, he was the graded winner in the pack, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's the graded. He had the proven form. He's the speed horse in the race against a horse.
He's not winning a Triumph, is he now?
No.
But you would, Nelson's got every right to aim him at it.
Absolutely, and it's like I say, it's the great story. But you're right, Too Friendly. It doesn't settle though. That's the whole problem. That's what I've got here. He's got to settle. He doesn't settle. He won't settle. He's not settling though. That's at the moment.
Seems a lot of races that we've seen in England today, and in general in England, there doesn't seem to be many pace on.
Oh, it's awful, Barry.
I agree, Barry.
Bugbear. Yeah.
It's. They seem to be dawdling around and then they're turning into sprints.
Yeah, and these are graded races we're talking about. It's not ideal, is it? So I agree. And on a Saturday, it's not great. And people watching it, what we call, I hate this phrase, but a £5 puncher, if you like, it just gets involved, watches it. Oh, that's a bit messy, wasn't it? I don't like it. It's not. Yeah, absolutely. So I don't know. We see it a lot, don't we? It goes back to that John Bond race where he stood up with a tape. We see varying degrees. It's not just
that was dreadful, wasn't it?
Awful.
On Friday.
Awful.
I think it was like 48 seconds before they actually broke the tape.
Try and explain that to someone who is a newcomer. Like, are they racing? Are we getting on with this? It's a bit weird, isn't it? We had Matty Batch in a week after that, and he goes, "I'd have been 2 flights ahead before they decided to go."
This pace thing is a real problem because.
It's not just on over jumps though. It is on the all-weather. You'll watch it all winter.
Of course it is. But you just want to see like truly run races. And like we said on the wide track, you just want to see it fair and go. They're racehorses. We're racing. Let's go. At the start, it's just that's why I can't read the race. You go to it, I'm like, what are they doing?
The thing is, it's not obviously the jockey on the front's fault, is it? Because they're trying to steal an advantage. It's the jockeys in behind the pace who could go and press the speed, especially if they're on a horse that stays better. But it just doesn't happen. And
then they're going and they're coming back and then they go. Like, it just seems so...
Yeah, invariably they're kind of getting their posse and then they're slowing it right down.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah. So it's not flowing how you want to see it. It just seems to be sort of start and stop.
And we're in for another one here, I would imagine.
Yeah, well, that's exactly it. We've got the 3 o'clock coming up at Cheltenham. It is the International. It used to be called the Beulah, you'll remember. It's been won by some really, really good horses. It is a champion hurdle step on the road. Whether any of these will be beating Honeysuckle, probably not. But we have got some of our old favourites here, haven't we? There's the market up there. We've got an hour left, basically, on the show, just under that. 3:35 is our final race. The Mayor's Hurdle race at Cheltenham. So get your socials in. Let's build them up. Who was on Cool Cody? Who was on Blazing Cal? Does it win the Albert Bartlett? Porticello, has the bubble burst, like I said, or will he still be the best horse in that race? Tom Leach comes back on the show and says, wouldn't surprise me if Ballyadam won, to be honest. Topical animal this. Of course, you remember, was it October he made his chase debut, Tom, wasn't it, at Punchestown behind Cape Gentleman. Got no further than first. And you're just thinking, when you see these horses, again, I can't help but think he'll soon be back hurdling. I know he's had another run over fences. They obviously don't think it's for him. I don't know. We'll get the panel's thoughts on Ballyadam. He's a very, very interesting race in, a race of well-known characters here. Could he be the fly, Barry Orr?
Yeah, well, he's getting his ground for the first time over hurls since he won a Grade 1 in Fairyhouse all the way back this time last year. But at the head of the market at the moment, they've 3.8 So Road, Song for Someone 4-2, Guard Your Dreams, Who Breaks My Heart is 7.4, 6-8 Ballyadam, 7-4 Heaven Help Us, and it's 21 the other two runners. I'm going to take on Song for Someone in the place market here, please, and I'm going to lay him in the 3 places, which we can currently... I think we can get them in the 3-place market.
1.7.
Lovely, yeah. 3-place market, yeah.
Yeah, 1.6.
1.7. Yeah, and we'll take 80 quid of the backer stake out of him at 1.7. 166 there now.
Lovely.
I did not.
I just think there's so much more in this race, Dave. Song for Someone is not a horse. I know he's won this race last year. Again, there was 3 hurdles omitted because of low sun, and it turned into a bit of a messy race. But I think Ballyadam has a chance. The money's been for the Coral Cup winner, the Mare Heaven Help Us, has been really well supported. Guard Your Dreams. I don't know what they're doing with him, messing him around, dropping him back to 2 miles. He ran so well in the Betfair Hurl, and I thought he was definitely one for the county hurl at the festival. They end up running him in the Coral Cup. Then he won in Cheltenham first time up this year, and he's ran respectively last time, but dropping him back to 2 miles, I think they could mess up a good horse like this. Although they did it with Paddy Andy plenty of times, but I think he's a really, really nice staying prospect, Guard Your Dreams. And if it was a true run race, he'll be there or thereabouts, but it's not going to be a true run race.
No, we have to hope that Heaven Help Us, who it's fair to say was given quite a bit of rope when she won at the Cheltenham Festival, will go on. You imagine Hunter's Call, the 11-year-old, might have somebody, he's getting on a bit. Song for Someone can get on with it a bit as well. Guard Your Dreams. Very few observers in racing know much about this horse as Barry Orr. Every time he's on the show and this horse runs, it's a periphery. I would imagine, Barry, it's a lack of opportunity. He's 5, isn't he? They're biding their time for fences, surely. Yeah,
lack of opportunity probably, and just throw the dice a bit that, might pick up place money, but if he was mine, I wouldn't be running him in it.
Okay, all right. So, and he was a funny run last time, wasn't he? He sort of looked beat and then coming back a bit. So I think he probably
beat and he stayed on great behind Buzz. That was a cracking run, considering turning into the straight Ascot, he looked like he was going to be tailed off.
All right, we've got some social interaction before we go down the panel before the International, which is 8 minutes away if they jump off at time. Manny Draycott comes on and says, gotta be So Royale. All right, we'll get a line on that. Yeah, Manny's got his ground, hasn't he? 100%. I need Some for Someone, 3 o'clock, and Win House, 3:35 for an accumulator, says our favourite Andy Sim. Good luck, Andy, I'm with you. And Frizzy Red as well. We know her so well. Assuming you are, assuming you are a she. I like Some for Someone, let us know. I hope it wins, but no bet for me. So a bet for any. I'm very keen on Song for Someone here.
Me too.
I thought, are we? The 4-timer is on. We've narrowed it down the field somewhat.
You know how much I love So Royal at Wincanton, and we were half the place was crying. I mean, it was it was just fantastic. But it put in his place in the fighting 5th, which I kind of expected in Grade 1.
In the fighting 5th.
Yeah, he did, but he is put in his place in Grade 1s often.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like, he's just a fantastic, compact, small, amazing horse that you'd love to own.
He's compact, isn't he?
Yeah, he's compact.
That's the word I was reaching for.
Yeah, he's compact. He's an amazing little horse. I'd love to own So Royal. I just think...
Yeah, everyone would.
He's been busy. He's done plenty of... Song for Someone's absolutely mapped out for this. We absolutely know that, don't we? Won it last year.
I thought the run
Same prep,
against
which
Buzz,
is
he was
important.
so disappointed, wasn't he, towards the back end. Goshen thrashed him
Yeah.
in his race, if you like, and then he pulled up, of course, when we last saw him. The wind operation first time, he ran really, really well. And look, Buzz might just well be an absolute buzzer for the stayers. He might well be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is, to be fair.
Yeah.
He's got so much ability, but my one doubt about Song for Someone, he doesn't always seem like he wants to run. Like he's not all there mentally, I don't think.
I don't know about
And
that.
also he's going to be taken on early. Heaven help us, will lead this race.
He's one of the gamest horses in training.
No, he battles at the end, but
He's
at the
won
start
8
of his races.
from 18 races, you know. And if
In that Kingwell that was won by Goshen, he didn't want to go a yard.
Yeah, they thought of track and ground for that, really,
But
wasn't it? I know that, but
not
that
even
was
a yard,
That was
like-
the beginning of the end of his season, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And he has had the wind on. It's interestingly, you know, if he improves off that run, he's got to take some beating here. I had it down between the two market leaders originally, but I didn't like Ballyadam much. I remain to be
I
seen.
was just wondering whether this is more of a watching brief for Ballyadam today. I mean, you've got to needs to be respected on festival form. I mean, for goodness sake, second supreme behind, appreciate it. But yeah, I just thought, for me personally, more of a watching brief. Guard Your Dreams, you made your case. That one I am really interested in is Heaven Help Us. Really interested in the Irish
Hennessy.
mare.
Yeah.
10 stone 11, 2 from 3 at Cheltenham. I mean, for goodness sake, it's quite hard to.
Yeah, I mean,
Got to make a strong case for Heaven Help Us.
she's my pick in this race. I mean, if there was 8 runners, then I'd be backing her each way,
would
definitely.
I.
But,
It was a gift from the heaven for Heaven Help Us.
she
in
still
that.
smashed them though.
But it was.
I know.
It was actually embarrassing to watch
Yeah, but
because
she
they gave us so much rope.
She wouldn't have been out of the front
We're
four
not talking
even
about
if
a
there
good
was a
horse.
stronger
You know,
pace
it was
though.
embarrassment.
Huh?
She could get exactly the same again today.
Striking. You know what? This show is going like my football match that I watched last night, Watford-Brentford.
Started well.
We started
Serves
really
you right
well.
for watching Watford, Brentford.
Well, I'm a Watford fan now.
I know you are. It was like,
Ended
they're-
terribly.
And I'm on Sky. It doesn't often happen, trust me. But in the last 5 minutes, we conceded 2 goals. I've started brilliantly in this show. I didn't want to get out of bed this morning. I've got 2 beautiful kids. Didn't want to get out of bed. I was livid. I was absolutely livid. Yeah,
I have seen pictures of your kids. They are cute.
they are cute.
Really
But
cute.
this morning, they weren't anywhere on my radar because I was just unhappy. But Cool Cody lifted the spirits, and now I'm starting to go down a little bit. But I honestly think Song for Someone is going to win this race.
Mate, I mean, he's got a great chance. I'm anti So Royale. I think you've said he's had a really
Not
tough
often
season.
you hear that, is it? Anti-So Royale.
No, but it's just been.
It's in this race. He's had such a hard season. He's had 3 runs already. This
That's
is
the
gonna be another.
thing. You have to think that So Royale is not going to improve as much.
No, exactly.
For
And
Song for Someone.
I also think he prefers flat tracks.
Well, he probably hasn't had his ground when he's been running at Cheltenham. He's of course just a winner, of course. Isn't he?
True.
But yeah, I know what you mean. He's a speedy.
Yeah, exactly.
What you saw at Wincanton 2 back was the perfect, and Kempton, I suppose, when he beat
Yeah,
Silver Streak as
Wincanton was
well.
perfect.
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 Couldn't have gone any better.
Perfect.
All right, you've heard from us. What about Hunter's Call, the 11-year-old? Great to see him back. Won't have the legs.
No, I don't think so.
What about Oscar? Now, I'm surprised that he's as big as he is.
Yes, he's a potential improver, isn't he? He's only had 10 starts, won
He was
5
still going
times.
very well over 2 mile 4 last time at Aintree.
We
2
were
out.
in the studio when he won last
that.
year. Where did he win? Was it Exeter? No, it was Utoxeter. He beat a horse called Mint Condition. He looked like he was going to
Yes.
win by 10, 20 lengths that day and folded dramatically in the closing stages. Now, I'm not 100% sure about him in a finish.
Was that was Midlands National Day, wasn't it?
Potentially. We were both definitely... Yeah, it was Midlands National.
Yeah, we were in the postie, weren't we? It was
Yes.
like after the Lord Mayor's show, wasn't it? We had to pick ourselves back up. We really, really
funny.
did. It's always like that, isn't it? At your Toxeter, the Staffordshire.
Always worries me when they stop like that though, or they go out a bit in the closing stage. Always worries me. It's not what I like to see.
Yeah, a horse can motor through the race like they're the next coming, but if they don't finish their race
Yeah,
well, it's definitely a negative.
It's a
in my
little bit.
book.
It's a little bit up. What's he doing at Ballyadam?
But oh,
in the
no, he
paddock?
looks fantastic.
He's
He's
a bit on his toes.
jogging. It's called
Jogging.
jig jogging or
You
jogging.
wouldn't know much about that one, Dave.
I'll tell you what.
That is
Oh,
the line
low
of the
blow.
day. That's the line of
TC,
the
there you
day.
go. All right, fair enough. One, he knows how to land a punch, as TC.
Sorry, that's
Do
line
you
of
know
the
what?
day.
I was coaching a football team this morning. A
Were
kids'
you?
football team. Yeah, I was out of breath after about the first 10 minutes.
Did they win though?
No, we trained
training,
on Saturday,
training.
play on a Sunday, yeah.
No bit of jig jogging is okay. I mean, everyone has different tastes, don't they, in the preliminaries? Like, you can have horses that are a bit hot and buzzy, but you quite like that, or you want to see them calm and relaxed. It depends on your preference. I mean, the thing is, it's not exactly sweating up. It's just jig jogging. It's nice. Racehorse, thoroughbred. They do get
as
excited.
is Heaven
It's
Help Us as
lashing
well.
rain in Cheltenham by the look of it.
Is it? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Those hairstyles of
Or
those lads have gone terribly wrong, haven't they? They've been flat
All
and
that
like
wax
pancakes.
is-
Well, we were hoping that was going to come up at Doncaster. Got one more to come at Donny, 3:15. 2 for gold. It's been a right old drifter in that. The Kim Bailey class angle in the race. Were they expecting rain? Will he need it? We'll find out after this. I can tell you that they are just getting ready for the international. We've had the Racing Post Gold Cup. What a crescendo that was right at the very first race. And we've seen some really good horses as well. I haven't heard any of you telling me about Blazing Cal. Does this win at Cheltenham, or are we just, are we getting excited before our time? Has the Albert Bartlett division yet to even begin? Shishkin and Egamine, not heard from you either on that. Get us in. You've got plenty of time. Ask the panel. We will give you your big shout out. Feeling festive?
Yeah, God, I've got 2 trees up.
2?
Yeah.
What, full-size trees?
That had to isolate for 10 days. And
No,
it
a
became
smaller
like
one and a bigger
National
one.
Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, your house, didn't it? I
Yeah.
can imagine.
Yeah, it's like a grotto,
TC not.
genuinely.
Yeah, I mean, I've done my Christmas shopping, which is strange for me. I'm normally a last-minute kind of guy. If you didn't realise that by
Must have been online because you had no car, did you?
yeah,
So it
exactly.
must
Yeah,
have-
the car's gone. But,
Both 2 cars have gone. haven't
2
they?
cars have gone, but yeah.
Passed on that baton to TC. Yeah. All right, fair play. You feeling festive, Barry?
Oh yeah, 100%. Can't wait.
Yeah. What would Christmas Day like be in the Orr household this year, all being well?
Same as every year. Visit relations, have a few drinks, have back here with my own family then for dinner and a few drinks, and look forward to the racing over the weekend.
Bit of
Will you be at
singing.
Leopardstown,
The following
Barry?
4 days.
Are
I'll be,
you going to
I'll be on
Leopardstown?
here with you guys, whatever days that we're doing it.
Boxing
and I'll be
Day
in
and New
Leopardstown
Year's
a couple
Day.
of days.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
great stuff. All right. What about next weekend, Barry? Because it's another big Betfair sponsored hurdle at Ascot. A great card that at Ascot. I love the.
It is, yeah, but I'll be here.
You'll be here. Okay, good stuff. Ross Briley going to sit in for me. I'm going to take Bruce Millington to a football match next week.
Are you?
Ross, babyface Briley.
Looks
Ross
like they're
Babyface
gonna-
Briley.
Oh,
He was a
yes,
character
they
on
did.
Monday, wasn't he? All right,
they wanna
we're off
go-
and running then in the international. We digress, but we know lots of you like
Heaven
to
help
hear all
us,
that
they
sort of
want to
thing.
get her
And
prominent.
this is what we wanted to see. A bit of pace in a race. And heaven help us, no doubt about
Wee.
Cheltenham. What
Oh,
of Oscar? Back in trip. Ballyadam, wow, putting like stink, isn't he?
I thought
Settled.
it was a
Oh,
fence.
He probably did. Yes, you often see that, don't you, Barry? Horses coming back to hurdles from fences. It catches them out, especially when they're going a bit. Hunter's call out
Like
the
a
back.
train.
I tell you
Pulling
what, very,
like a
very keen.
train.
Wild,
God, she is good,
wild
Rachel.
about Oscar then. He is running wild up front. That's suiting Guard Your Dreams. Back in trip as well. Heaven help us, she's going to have to take a toe today. Song for Someone, nicely settled in midfield. So Royale,
This
the
will suit him.
compact So Royale on the inside, and Hunter's call. TC, early impression?
This will suit So Royale, the early speed. He can just sit off the pace and then use his turn of foot at the finish up the hill. We just kind of missed that hurdle and had to be shaken along, but he's still travelling nicely. I'm quite surprised Heaven Help Us isn't leading.
I like the look of Song for Someone.
No, again, Barry.
he just had a tap on his shoulder, have you
He did.
seen?
He
what I
was
was
giving him a
saying
little
about it.
reminder there,
He
wake
doesn't
up. He's a bit leery then.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like he wants to
that
race in
about?
the early stages.
He has had a few taps, to be fair. Look, we've got to be
No,
honest.
I'll tell
you
you
just
what.
never know with him.
This
He
is,
might
this
just...
is a disaster if you're on Song for Someone. This is gone. For surprise, he's not got another 0 on him already. He just doesn't want to do it, does he? You're
He
right.
wins, so.
Well, oh, God, blimey, well, listen, we will see. All right, so what about Oscar sort of bunny hopping them a little bit? He's getting better, Ballyadam.
getting the pace we
rain
wanted to see
has
though, aren't
arrived
we?
at Cheltenham, as Barry said. On the inside, heaven help us. We'll find out what she's got. It's interesting, isn't it, that Sam Twiston-Davies does not want Harry Skelton, who's up front, to make this into a Mickey Mouse race.
No, he's on the proven stayer in the field in Guard Your Dreams. He's now just jumped to the front there. Ballyadam's travelling nicely. Song for Someone jumping poorly.
Yeah.
Heaven Help Us jumping poorly.
He's terrible position, Song for Someone. I'm really disappointed
He also
with
just
him
didn't
already.
jump well there, Dave.
Yeah, well, it's just, that is game over, I think. And heaven help us, does
And the
not
mare,
like
she
being
doesn't
headed,
look...
does she?
No, she's sort of...
She's sulking a bit. When
She's
she didn't
sulking.
get
I was
the
going to say
lead.
throwing the towel in. She's
Amazing
being
how
right.
these horses do it. Absolutely amazing.
She's being a bit of a madam.
The Coral Cup winner does not fancy it today.
If
All
I
right
was,
then.
if I was betting him running right now, I'd be all in on So Royale.
Well, let's find out what price he is for Barry Orr.
3-1 in running. Now, that's a big statement. Guard Your Dreams, your favourite at 2-1. It's 9-2 Ballyadam, 13-2 Song for Someone who he's persisting with, but he has it all to do. So Royal, 3-1, yeah.
Yes, that 3-1. I thought you were going to say short of Barry. I must admit, he's got the inside TC. He's the speed horse in the race.
Yeah, the race is just panning out perfectly for him. If he's good enough, he'll win today.
Oh, Song for Someone. This is tragic viewing. All right, okay. So Guard Your Dreams, back down in trip, keeping wild
Pull him
about
up, babe.
Oscar. Yeah, is he going to pull him up?
He should.
Yeah, he just
I
doesn't.
made him 3 places. Pull him up.
Barry, I was like, why is Barry wanting to pull up so much?
I don't want to see another P next to Song for Someone's name, but he's just not loving life today for whatever reason. In the Coral Cup, he was absolutely superb. Is he totally out? Oh, come on, it's horrible, this, isn't it, when you're on one and they give you the hope.
No,
It's the
I
hope
wouldn't.
that gets you in this
You
game.
don't know.
Right, we're coming to. Is this 3 out or 2 out? This is 2 out, isn't it? All right, here we go. Then Wild About Oscar still leading. Don't forget he stays further. Ballyadam now on the bridle. Cheveley Park back. Look at So Royale. He just whatever finished ahead of him was surely. But in fact, as soon as I said that, he just gets a little bit of a hurry up. Song for Someone somehow.
Aidan Coleman is livid.
Yeah, he's going to storm up the hill. We know he can do it. Ballyadam, what's he got? Look, Hunter's Call, the 11-year-old. Sean Bowen, and he's got the favoured running rail as well.
Call your favourite now, the 11-year-old.
Wow, we're going to see a turn up here, whatever happens, because So Royale, he's been blunted. Look at Song for Someone, unbelievable.
Hunter's Call look
He's
better.
absolutely trapping now, all too late in the day. He's a certainty for third. Right, what's going to do it? Oh, big and brave there was Hunter's Call. Look at Song for Someone. This is remarkable.
Aidan knows him.
Absolute
Aidan
Larry.
knows him.
He doesn't fancy it whatsoever, does he? No, okay, this is Guard Your Dreams. Looks like Sam Twisted Dave is going to do this. Song for Someone. Oh, I wanted him to win. Barry did in the places.
Little monkey.
I tell you what, yeah, TC called that. How has he not won that race?
Yeah, but
Oh, sometimes they make monkeys out of you, don't
yeah,
they?
but Davey still comes second in a massive prize money race.
It's like he needs to go out for a jog beforehand to get
Yes.
into the mode of racing and then run his race because he just doesn't want to go.
That,
He doesn't want to go in the first
Is that
mile.
what you have to do to get in the
It
zone?
takes over halfway in
Yeah,
the
to get
race for
involved.
him to go, oh, and he's livid, and Aidan's like, just tapping him all the time. No, listen, you brute, but if you were the owner, yes, it's annoying, but look, he's still going to pick up.
Yeah, he's
They
running.
toyed
money
with
there.
the idea of sending him fencing. I spoke to Tom Simmons about him, but we'll get to him. Off we go to the Barry. Barry, they were neck and neck, Guard Your Dreams and Hunter's Call. The one time you don't put up Guard Your Dreams on this show.
Yeah, it's gas, but it really was a test of stamina, and that's what's won it for him. And he made sure it was going to be a test of stamina. Great ride.
It was.
From Sam. Song for Someone hit a low of 2.70 and a high of 490. That's for you, Dave. That's just for you. Hunter's Call hit a low of 1.34. 1.34, 3-1 on. Ballyadam, another one to trade short. 2.06 Ballyadam. Yeah, but cracking ride from Sam Twiston Davis. Fair play. He knew what he had to do there going out, that the only chance he had of winning is what if it turned into a test of stamina.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he ensured it was. And yeah you got to give him the plaudits there.
Some big disappointments in that race, weren't they? So Royale went out like a light, just
Yeah,
had the perfect trip round.
I would have done my dough in running because I thought he was going the best, but yeah, he literally
I think he's
bottled out.
I'd suggest no bigger disappointment than Song for Someone.
Why?
Petulant.
Going home with 30 grand.
should have won.
To me, like a horse that thought he was going back to the stables,
Yeah,
turning out
that's what I
for
mean.
the first circuit that
I'm livid
time.
with him.
He
Yeah,
looked
but-
like he wanted to go back
That was
out.
Watford versus Brentford.
They've gone home with nearly 30k. That is the way he is. Like, he can be like that.
Yeah, he runs
that's
like that
him.
all the time.
One thing we can say, he was on his best behaviour last time at Ascot, and Buzz still disposed of him.
Yeah,
pretty
Buzz is
easily,
a
didn't
very good horse.
Yeah, very good horse. I'd say it. Aidan's very good on him. Always niggle him. Don't you dare.
he? One
Come
run
on.
too many for So Royale already.
Yes.
Probably, yeah.
When you come up against these bigger teams, if you like, But Guard Your Dreams, just concentrating him a little bit.
Yeah.
He probably is a chaser in waiting, but it was a good ride because he made sure that Harry Skelton didn't stop, and he kept finding, didn't he? And if you think he was attacked by Hunter's Call, he was running blind.
Yeah, ran a great
back
race.
on form.
Great
really
race.
But we're not, again, Honeysuckle, she's just watching on in her barn, isn't she?
Oh, yeah, this is not even...
Nibbling on her hay.
She's
Going,
just like, get me
Our
to the
traders
church on
have
time.
quoted Guard Your Dream for the champion hurdle.
What is he, Barry? They're not
33-1.
Yeah,
He's
they
probably not to run it, is he?
probably 8 hurdle if you had to put your hat on one big target for him. Maybe go to Sandown or something like that. Maybe Punchtown, something like that. Lovely Allstone. Well done to the Tristan Davis cap.
Yeah, he's only a 5-year-old.
Yeah, exactly. And I thought they might, one marker 147. Where do you go? They're probably thinking they might go back to a Betfair or something like that. But no, the mark will shoot up now.
yeah, youngest in the race.
Yeah, Song for Someone was giving him £6 and 155, so he's going to get 152, something like that now. So another £5 on his back. Right, one more to come from Cheltenham. One more to come from Donny as well. Nearly Christmas time for you, Nat Green. We're not seeing you for the rest of December, which is boo-hoo and all that. But you are going off to sunnier climes, aren't you, in January as well?
I am going to Antigua.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Ever been to Antigua, TC?
No, I haven't, no.
No, my husband and I always take a bit of time in January because it's his
Good
birthday.
time to go away, isn't it?
It's his birthday, and he's a workaholic, so I try and drag him away once a year. And and it's his 40th this
Is he
year.
always on the...
very nice.
Oh, yeah, Dom's 40th. Is he always on the blower? I
Yeah,
get
he's-
hurlers for that.
He's all right. He's but I think you just need a break, don't you? Sometimes, and January
do.
is a good,
You need to down
a good
tools,
time
don't
to
you?
do it, and then it's
Yeah.
busy.
Yeah, I'm off to New York in February. So
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
How long
yeah.
for?
Just a week. Bit of aqueduct, bit of basketball. Lovely.
Ah, you're poor.
Nice.
One husband that's getting a real treat, one girlfriend that's getting an
One
absolute...
for you.
No. I haven't... No, I can't really say on this show. I've got a surprise lined up for the missus. Actually,
Nice.
so- yeah, and I'm going to
Don't worry,
go
she's
to
probably
Italy
not
twice
watching
next year. Barry, any travel lined up whatsoever with the family? Is this something we're going to be doing again? I don't know.
Yeah, I hope so, Dave. It's getting all a bit freaky again in terms of travel. You have to take PCR tests and antigen tests coming back from the HWPA last week in London. So they're trying to put as much bureaucracy and red tape in place. They just don't want people traveling. But
Yeah.
I'm going on a little shopping trip next week to New York just for a couple of days, and then I'm back to New York in January, for my birthday. Yeah, my wife's
Oh,
very
nice.
kindly
Very
bringing
nice.
You can meet
Yeah.
TC for a Tom Collins at the Rockefeller Centre. There you go. Absolutely. Okay, 2 New Yorks. I feel terrible now. We're lucky if I get to Kent in January, I'll tell you. Absolutely. All right, okay. We digress. Yes, indeed. Quite right. So, all right, but I'm big on Christmas. I really, really am. I know a lot of people think they are, but I used to, you know what I mean? I used to dress as Father Christmas.
Did you?
I mean, I used to be, I was a pretty good Santa. I mean, I was. They loved me.
Oh,
they couldn't get
wow.
enough of me. But I started getting flu, the pesky kids. It was the grannies that were the worst. They used to come up and try and sit in here. And 2 Christmases I went down with flu. This year they asked me to do it.
No more
This
mystical.
year, where are we going with this? 2 years in a row. I didn't do it last year. They asked me to do it again this year. You must be kidding. You think, what are we supposed to be doing? I'm like,
Oh, just sit there and you go, ho, ho, ho.
do it through a cage this time. Do you know what I mean? Go in there in a Hamzat
Big
suit.
perspex screen.
Father Hamzat. You know what I mean?
Do your arms here.
Yeah, but
Dave's
I am
like
big
Dave
on it.
Orton like this. Merry Christmas.
I love Boxing Day. I love the shows that we do on Boxing Day. We've got Posty and G-Rod and Barry on Boxing Day. We'll have the hats on again as usual. We'll have a great laugh. I cannot wait
Have
for
some
the season to
eggnogs
come
in the
up.
studio.
And Leopard's Tail. Oh, well, that would be great.
I love an eggnog.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't?
I was drinking one last night, would you believe?
An
Do
eggnog.
you like an eggnog?
Did well to
Yes,
make it
so
on the
that's
show.
avocado and 7-Up, isn't
Yeah,
it?
isn't it great? I love it. Yeah.
I didn't know it was
It's
7
gorgeous.
Up.
Had one last night.
Well done, Barry.
I'm going
Someone
out
of
on the
mine.
town in London after this, and I'm hoping that 2 for Gold will pay for my
A bit
eggnog.
trappy, this, isn't it?
It is a bit trappy, and he was. I mean, Barry, I thought this could even go like 6-4-ish. But I woke up this morning, I saw some 3-1 in places. What is he? 2 for Gold. The class of race, angle of the race in the exchange market.
Yeah, well, he was very short earlier on today. He was bet in on the sports book. He was into 7-4 at one stage this morning. He was into 292 on the exchange, which is just a 2-1 chance. But currently now on the exchange, he's trading at 4.3, so he's 130, the same price as the Wolf for Adrian Heskins. 5-3 Puerto Rico, 8-8 Bidou, Mr. Muldoon 10.5, 11.5 Mance Raider, and 17 Jet. That's not without a chance, Jet. I'll give him a mention. Ex-Jessica Harrington horse, another Ollie Murphy runner in the race, having his first run for Ollie Murphy with Sam Welly-Cohen. Obviously, bigger targets for that down the line, but could run well here today. The horse I liked, I wanted to take on 2 for Gold, but I'm not looking to take it on at 130. That's just the wrong price. I thought I'd get it around 7-4, 2-1. So I'm going to leave that off. We're just going to have 25 quid win on the Wolf for Ollie Murphy. Like I said earlier there, we haven't seen him since he finished second at the back end last season in Perth. I thought that was a really, really decent run as well. He's a horse that can run well fresh, and it's a race ordinarily I wouldn't have a bet in, but just for the sake of the charity, we'll have 25 quid on him.
On the Wolf then. Second season chaser, could be a big year for him. Barry will be roaring him home. And he's interesting. I think 8 out of the last 10 winners had a run here, and yet the top 3 in the market are all seasonal debutants, and that is because of question marks about the rest of them. Fidux, he's been on the go since August. I think he's interesting at the prices.
Yeah.
MC Muldoon, Blinkers first time on, he needs them for good reason. Mance Raider, be surprised who's good at. Jet, the best handicapped horse in the race on the old back form, but surely they're looking at some of that Aintree down the line. I would imagine this
National.
is a pipe oper, probably. But
was
he's
eighth,
very well
wasn't it?
handicapped
Yeah.
horse. And I hovered over him, but he stinks in the market. First run back, again, a sight seater there. So Puerto Rico, I think, might need this.
Well, he's been well supported. He was 14s yesterday into 4-1 now.
Yeah, a few judges are on this, aren't they?
Yeah,
Yes.
he's well handicapped. It's just if he's gonna run well first time up. I'm very much in the same boat as Barry, so I might as well get it out of the way. Not a race I'll be punting in. The Wolf, I think, is the most likely winner. I literally have nothing else.
Because you think he'll be better than 136, and he's, you know.
Yeah, he's still relatively unexposed. Adrian Heskin.
Okay, first time out last year. He was beaten at 8:13 on, but it was a
2-runner race.
It was, but exactly. It was a Mickey, and Paddy Brennan was his absolute best that day. I
Yeah.
wrote about that race. I remember it well.
Adrian Heskin's been riding really well as well lately for these owners. So
If he gets into a rhythm, he's going to go low in running, isn't he? He'll definitely go fab in running. I think 2 for gold though. It's of mark of 150. That's my problem with him. Is the mark, and I thought the rain might have arrived at the Town Moor. The forecasters, not just at Cheltenham, having a Horlicks with their predictions as well. It hasn't arrived, and he does love soft ground. He's a course winner as well. Is he prepping though for something like the Sky Bet or something like the Grimthorpe and all that sort of stuff?
Kim Bailey first time up this year, been
Again, I've seen a bit of this in the chat, guys. You're right, Tom Leach, and that it's hit and miss, isn't it?
Yeah.
But he is having the odd first time out winner to confound you.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the stable are sending out winners. First Flow obviously won the other day, didn't he?
Exactly.
But at the same
Peterborough
time,
winner.
I wouldn't be 100% sure that he'll
he
be
a
firing.
Massive drifter though as well, wasn't
Was
it?
he?
Yeah.
First
It was
flow,
a
he
big-
was a massive drifter.
Big price. Yeah, I think Maddie Plough put him up, didn't she? I remember seeing.
Opposite
Mads.
of drifters currently at Hereford. One for Ronan McNally, one to 6-shot.
Oh,
another
right, yes,
Gamble.
the V, whatever it is, yeah.
Yeah, V
All
dancer.
class
Sauntering home.
Yeah, big day, of course, at Hereford today. There's some really good, looks like great weather there as well. Decent crowd, great to see. Great to see Hereford making its comeback.
no,
They
it
always
does-
have good
does look good
Saturday
over
or
there.
two there.
No, this is just so trappy, isn't it?
It is.
I can also see the love for the Wolf, youngest in the field. Ollie Murphy, he's like 30% in the last 14 days. I mean, he's absolutely flying.
Have you
isn't
tipped
he?
this?
No, I've gone for 2 for gold. Do you know why? Just because the class angle that we know.
It's not what Barry said about it. It's just too big a price. It worries you slightly, doesn't it?
It does.
But
It does. It's the class angle. He's a classy individual. We know he wins off breaks. We know he goes well fresh.
yes.
And that's the reason. But I agree that it's not a race you'd be completely dogmatic about. But you've got to have got to pick one. So 2 for
Yeah,
gold.
we do, absolutely. We all play for the fun of the game out there. That's what we're doing. And Corto Rico is observing from rear as they saunter towards the first fence. 2 for gold on the inside, up there, unsurprisingly for Bass and Kim Bailey. Jet taking an enthusiastic hold. In the first time, blinkers rather lit up. Dr. Richard Newland, Charlie Hammond, I wanted to say MC Muldoon, Mr. Muldoon, Mance Raider out the back as well. And Fiddix on the inside with the Wolf, who, again, you can tell it's his first run back. All right, long run into the first. I'm expecting 2 for gold to come up. No, he's been headed. And Jet is going on. Sam Whaley
Bassey.
Cohen.
Did you see that?
Yeah, almost fell 2 for gold.
Bassey, yeah, he almost fell.
Did he?
Bassey sort of came down on his neck and actually sat really well just to get
Tell you
himself.
what, he's doing a song for someone here, isn't he? He's looking a little bit
Well,
like
he
he's a
pecked
bit
quite
rusty.
badly. Oh, and he's gone tight in again. He's gone really close in again.
Corto Rico wasn't great there either.
They don't like it if they start to feel they're going to slip as well. If they slip into a fence, they do not.
And if you've got David Bass on, you're going to
Going,
get
"Go
fired.
on!"
Yeah, absolutely fired into them.
Well,
Because we know he's in 2 for gold and needs to jump better now,
And
Dave.
look what
because-
Bass has done. This is where he just used his brain, Dave Bass. He's
That's
right to the outside. He started off right hugging the rail, the Brian Hughes route, who is, of course, on the rail out the back on Corto Rico. I love it when jockeys just go to plan B early in a race. It's all about getting the right feel for the horse. All right, then. Okay, couple of fences in. Sam Whaley Cohen, of course, will be hopefully riding this Jet come national time. When right now it's James Bowen, and they want to see what they've got, I'm assuming, TC, because he's right up there.
Yeah, he seems to have all the enthusiasm that we've seen in the past with former connections. He's travelling really nice. He is pricked out in front. I think there was a little battle for the pace early on, hence why 2 for gold had to back off. The Wolf just made a mistake there.
He's got a Racing Post rating of 163 top. He's got a form of the likes of Duvan, the storyteller, this thing up front. Will he stay there? We shall find out. MC Muldoon, again, stout stayer, more of a sort of a typical. Do we often paint Dr. Richard Newland's horses as being autumn horses? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Spring.
I think it's probably because he tries to find the best possible opportunities for them, doesn't he? And obviously, early autumn and spring and summer races tend to be weaker, which is when he has the best strike rate. But he does have.
True trainer,
And who's
isn't
his
he?
Rising Stars winner? Owen Canton, of course. The horse who he said wouldn't have been running had we had any rain. No.
That's bad for me.
Of course, it ran at Cheltenham next time, didn't it? They were proper
Much
striking
happier
one
now,
there,
Dave, with 2 for gold.
Yes, and they're
it's
going
almost like he
clear
just
a little
needed
bit.
back on his race course. Yeah, Bassey, we all know, is dead enthusiastic. Felt a little bit slippy underfoot, and I think he just kind of went, yeah. Don't know long, don't know whether to go deep, but now it's panning out much more sort of calmly. They're all getting into their own path, and it looks a bit more settled. It was a bit of a crazy those first two jumps
as well on that.
Those first two jumps frightened the life out of me.
We're on the far side then, Barry. A line of fences await. We've seen the positions, we've seen the tempo of the race, we've seen who's settled. Who's now fav?
The Wolf still,
Yeah.
4.2. 5 Fidou. I had an SP of 8.6, so in running players reckon he's travelling well. Jet into 6.4. Had a Betfair SP of 13. Was money for that pre-race. Puerto Rico 6.4. 7.62 for gold is the big drifter, you'd have to say. Fidou nearly favourite now, 4.8 and 4.2 the Wolf.
Yeah, and you get the feeling that Puerto Rico is he's got something to say in this race, isn't he?
Yeah, Brian Hughes is just riding him really cold out the back.
Interesting that the two that the Exchange like are they've got the ground to make up, and these are two confirmed stayers up front, and they're not. I wouldn't say they're hanging around. Good jump there from 2 for gold. You get the feeling it's up here, don't you?
Yeah.
Reminder there for Mr. Muldoon, just went in a bit short into that fence.
Which, if you're on Jet, you're like. Of course, he wears the cheap pieces 2 for gold, doesn't he? And
Also, you've got to jump. I mean,
do you remember when he won at Warwick last season? It was one of the rides of the season,
those
wasn't
fences.
it? Yeah, I remember that now. He beat ASO, didn't he, in February, and everyone was lauding Bassi because he just made his mind up.
Yeah.
Well, Bassi's going to have to be even better than that to get him up here, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
At this stage.
We're on the far side, the last of the races on the Town Moor this afternoon. We've got one more to Cheltenham Comfy. We'll be back Ascot next Saturday, of course. Really good card there. We'll be up at Haydock as well for some informative racing. And then we will be having a festive break and back with you on Boxing Day as well. New Year's Day, Cheltenham, it's all there waiting for us. Can't wait to have you joining us here on RPL. Right then. Okay. Oh, Jet absolutely took off there, didn't he? Fidux is going really well, TC.
Yeah, travelling nicely. So is Puerto Rico, to be fair.
Fidux has gone favourite now, Barry.
Yeah, he's 2-1 favourite.
Wow.
Can't see it myself, but
it's just the run of the race, I suppose.
I prefer to be on Puerto Rico, I think.
Yeah, and the Wolf has got
what's
something
wrong
to
with
say.
the one in front?
What, Jet? He's honestly, he's thrown in on his old form.
Yeah.
So let's see. And he's had some luck, hasn't he, James Bowen? Because he was being pestered by Mr. Muldoon. He's dropped off.
The favourite. Here's the Wolf.
The Wolf is coming then. What's he got? Let's see. I love watching this. This is 5 out, I think, at Donny. I might have got that right for once.
Hughes up the rail.
Yeah, it's just creepy from Hughes, isn't it? Okay, that was 4th last. We're in the home straight then. Creepy
Sure,
from
he'll love
Hughes.
that.
He'll love that comment. Of course he won't. Oh, okay. All right. What's coming up at this fence then? It's still 2 for gold. Oh, yeah. No. Adrian, I'll tell you what. This is going to be, a lot of people will be waking up tomorrow morning having backed this.
Jet's not beat yet, lads.
No, he's not. I'll tell you what, 2 for gold's pulled himself up in front. The Wolf hit the second last. I'll tell you what, they're all coming. Look at Jet coming back. 2 for gold. Oh, you absolute character, isn't he? Now Jet's come back to him. Is he going to pick him up again? This is remarkable, isn't it? This Kim Bailey will be infuriated by this chap. Jet and 2 for gold coming clear to the last. Jet pricking his ears. 2 for gold's got some company now, and he's gone on again. This is 2 for gold. Wow, unbelievable scenes. The lazy 2 for... Look, putting himself up again. Here comes Jet coming back. Look at Puerto Rico. Bassi will not be denied, though, and he's going to hold on. Puerto Rico fast finishing. 2 for gold. Pulls it out. Who kept the faith? He shone. I'll tell you what, Dave Bass, marvellous ride that. We've seen one from Sam Tristan Davis, Barry, but that was top of the class for me.
Yeah.
And no duck eggs for me. No.
Right, hit a high of 15 in running. Thought it would have been bigger than that myself, but that's as high as he went in running. Puerto Rico, who's ran on well, hit a low of 2.18, and your runner-up Jet hit a low of 1.42, so 2 to 5. You're right, Dave. He didn't want to know about it when he hit the front. He pulled himself right up, and it was only when Jet joined him that he began to prick up again. Obviously, Jet's made a bad mistake at the last, and that sealed his fate. But game performance from the winner. But I say it's really going to take it out of him now in his first run of the season. He's had a very hard race.
I'll tell you what, the Wolf's coming back on the run in as well.
There's no bigger eye catcher in that race.
He would have won that race, I think.
Yeah.
He wore 3 out. He took 2 out with him as well.
And he would have disappointed 2 for gold, wouldn't he? You see, Jet was coming... You just get the feeling, don't you, when you're watching these horses that you know are lazy and that you know have got more to offer. They look like they're done, don't they? But you know they can pick back up.
Yeah.
We see it on the flat, we see it over the jumps. And I guess it's made for David Bassett's horse, isn't he?
Look, they don't all have to win by lengths and lengths.
No.
They don't, and they won't.
That's a career best for 2
and
for
they
gold.
won't all win by lengths and lengths. But Bassi knows this horse, like Aidan, new song for someone, and maybe it is a case of just keep being positive with it, because it's not exactly an emphatic win, and like you say, but it won.
And isn't it interesting that he's made his mistakes early in the race?
Yeah, the first two were dreadful, weren't they?
And then his big rivals who were coming to get him, they all made him late in the race.
Yeah, definitely. We should mention how well Jet ran. There's a second veteran for Ollie Murphy that's run a great race, Hunter's Call as well at Cheltenham. So
he's having some season so far, Ollie Murphy.
No, fair play. That ran
and
fantastically.
they'll be very happy taking him home because they're like, we've got a very well handicapped horse. Even if he goes up £10, which he won't do for that, he's still well handicapped with his oval. Puerto Rico, wherever he turns up next, he'll be going very close, I imagine. And the Wolf, just get that jumping together, second season novice. Not a bad race we witnessed there. We bid farewell to Doncaster and the Town Moor. One more at Cheltenham coming up. Oof. We've got a little bit of time to talk about it as well. It is the Mare's handicap, Class 2, the Close Brothers Mare handicap. And there's a JP horse I think is looking like it might go off favourite, Barry. Totally unexposed, Trapista.
Trapista, yeah, she's currently trading at 4.2. Winhouse is 4.9. Trapista, the only thing I don't like about her now, like you say, she's unexposed. She won well last day in Huntingdon, but she's a 4-year-old, same as her indoors. And I don't like 4-year-old mares against their elders in these handicaps. So 4.1 Trapista, Martello Sky 5.2, 5 Winhouse, Indefatigable 7.8, and it's 12.5 bar. I like Winhouse, Dave, as you know, backed her last day in Wincanton when she won. I thought she was really game, and that was her first run of the season. When you look back to last year, she was a little bit disappointing in parts, but she really looks like she's turned a corner. She's a 6-year-old mare off 125. Very workable mark for her. And currently 5.0 on the exchange. We're going to put in, make our own odds here, please. Set our own odds, please, Tom, because she has been on a bit of a slide after seeing money for her this morning. So we're going to look to back her at 5.3, and we want to have 50 quid on her at 5.3. So that'll go up into the lay column, and hopefully someone will come in and match us, but we can update that throughout. We've got plenty of time. We're still 10 minutes before the off.
Thank you, Barry. Yes, Winhouse. We remember when that one at, was it Wincanton? It was Wincanton.
Wincanton, yeah. Badger's Ale Day.
Yeah, that's it, the Badger Hales Day, that's it. She looked beaten. You have to think that the hill might be in her favour. She was a plunge overnight. I'd say more than anything that she was, she was aggressively priced probably, and that's 7-1. If any of you got that out there, that was a silly price. She has run once at Cheltenham. I'm just looking back on that. It was really soft ground that day. She got outpaced basically over 2 mile 4, so I think she's a better horse now. Yeah, can see that absolutely. Tom Cannon preferring her over old rival and stablemate Hotter Than Hell. Harry Kimber takes that ride, taking over 7. Indefatigable. The more that runs, the more we can pronounce it.
Indefatigable.
Again, you took 2 goes at that.
Indefatigable.
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 You should have seen us when it first turned up on the show.
Yeah, she was very good at Wetherby.
Yeah, she won the Wetherby Hurdle, didn't she? Of course, the Great Yorkshire Hurdle. TC, what wins the last?
I'm with Barry again. I think we're reading off the same hymn sheet. Winhouse, for all the reasons Barry suggested. She also ran behind Precious Eleanor at Ludlow in March. Precious Eleanor ran really well at Cheltenham yesterday to finish 2nd.
Okay.
She does suffer from post-race heat ataxia or whatever, something like that. Heat stress ataxia. So she takes her races.
Things going flying all over the studio.
Threw the mic on the floor. That's harder to say than indefatigable. But you're right, it is a thing.
Yes, and she takes her races hard, which is why we haven't seen her too many times. She's only had 9 starts, and she's a 6-year-old. But I think she's got all the class to win this race. Yeah,
okay, really helpful quote from King. When you phone up King, he's usually really good on this. On Winhouse, he says, "What is it? You'd be like." Cheers, Kingy. She won at Wincanton last month and looks sure to be thereabouts again. Would the phone go? You go. I'll take it. I'll write it down. But it's basically just a straightforward mare, really, and ought to be there or thereabouts again. I like Martello Sky. I think she was not seen at her best at Aintree last time when really well fancied. I like the fact that Aidan Coleman is in the saddle. And she is a course and distance winner. In fact, last time she ran this, she ran really, really well. I forgive her that. And I think she ought to be fav here. We don't know about Trapista, do we, Nat?
No, I don't like. I love Martella Sky. I love her.
Is this the tip?
Yeah, I love her.
We're on the treble. The treble is alive.
I love her breeding.
It started up as a 6-timer.
Yeah, I'm...
Lucky you did that multiple. Because the perms are still there somewhere.
I'm slightly obsessed with Martellines, the breeding. Martellines. They are absolutely stunning.
We've got time. Tell us.
Just such classy animals, that gorgeous to look at, just race well, nice temperament. I just think they're just beautiful. I mean, Snow Leopardess by Martline, isn't she?
Yes.
I just think absolutely gorgeous. Yeah.
Was that a guess?
No, she is.
that a guess?
No, I think they
No,
said
she
it on
is.
You
RTV
said
last-
you
They said it on RTV
you were
last
tweeting
week.
your masses, and that was thrown to you. Yes.
No,
I'm not.
She is a Martline.
They said on ITV.
You knew that
Yeah.
would be right, and you
No,
thought, I'm just going to
no,
say
she's
yes. there.
gorgeous. But also, Dave, she's won 6 of her 10 starts. Like,
Yeah.
she'll go really well now back in handicap.
And she feels like she's been around for quite a while, doesn't
Yeah,
she?
I
But she
know.
is
Don't
still.
you
I think we
agree?
haven't seen the best of her yet. I think you're right on that one.
Only 5.
Yeah. Okay. All right. She's only 5. So is this the tip? We
Definitely.
mono a mono again. Brilliant.
Have I had 2 wins and a second today?
You're
Have I?
Have you, Nat?
Anyone? Anybody out there?
Is anyone keeping scores out there? You're on a treble, I know that much. I think I am as well on. I had 2 for gold as well.
You did. And we had...
Is there? I know there's a mythical leaderboard in your mind. Are you leading it? She does this all the time.
I do.
Very competitive.
all the time.
All right. Well, I hope you're doing well out there as well. We've got 1 more to go. Trapista. I don't know. When you see an unbeaten John Joe JP mare, 4-year-old, totally unexposed, hosed up at Hunting last time, would you expect it to be a little bit shorter? I don't know. It's a funny price,
in
this
shot
Barry, isn't
now.
it? 4.4. You don't really know what to do with it.
Yeah, it's a funny one, all right, Dave. I don't know. Obviously, it's a mare's hurl, and she's racing off 131. So it'll give a fair indication where they go next with her after this.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, we might be looking at a project potentially here. We'll find out. She's very exciting now, I think, Trapista, isn't she? Of course. I'm going to throw one into the mix here that is interesting for Ben Case and Jack Quinlan. Midnight Reflection. She wants a bit further, and she is the only confirmed front runner in the race now that Anything for Love is out. A Lust for Glory could give her something to think about, but we don't know if Lust for Glory will be loving the race course today or not.
No.
Really. She's she doesn't jump off sometimes. She didn't jump well then. She unseated last time, of course.
Jack Quinlan was seen to great effect from the front on One More for the Road the other week. So, if you're on a front runner with Jack Quinlan in the saddle, then that's a positive. She's very consistent. I don't know if she's got the class of some of these.
No, but she's
a
going to
big
want to
price.
get on with it, isn't she?
Yeah,
And if
exactly.
they let her go a little bit, I don't know. She
God,
could.
this
She
is
could
getting
outrun the
dark
price.
already.
At Chelters.
Yeah.
Yeah, always does.
Really
It
dark.
always does. Yeah.
So we've got in pictures now. Her indoors. Kingy, yeah.
Bidding farewell till Cheltenham, then till New Year's Day. Then we've got the trials meeting, and then we're there.
Amazing, isn't it?
You going?
I always go. Yeah, just depends which days. I've given up on Gold Cup Day, really. It's too many
Well, we
people.
want you in here as well, don't forget. So, get him in early.
Maybe want me in
It's
here.
amazing. I don't know about you and Betfair, Barry, but it's amazing how many people from the post are already jostling for position to go to the festival.
Oh, really? Already? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'll be doing it from here, hopefully.
Yeah,
I
that would
won't
be
have to.
well. You'll be doing a bit. I'd be amazed if you don't do a bit of both, won't you? Would you not be going? Come on, normally you'd be there under normal circumstances, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but new ways of working now, Dave. And to
Ah.
be perfectly honest with you, I don't think I miss the actual hustle and bustle of the television coverage is just so good now.
Yeah.
And like when you go to Cheltenham, everything that goes with it, trying to get through the crowds, and you miss a lot of stuff that actually happens when you're attending the race meetings on the day, and then at night trying to get into restaurants or bars, and that's just crazy. It's a young man's game, Dave.
No,
Well,
Barry
Tom,
Orr, you should
not
be
for
in.
me. I'm getting too old.
You should be in
It's
box
cynical.
one. What are you on about? At box one, hospitality. It's the only place I'd have Barry Orr.
Is that right?
Yes.
No, I work at Cheltenham. No hospitality.
No,
Yeah.
you would have to work.
A consummate pro, absolutely. Yeah, but I can tell you, people from the post are all jockeying for position. Oh yeah, in TC's department, the tipsters, they're a nightmare. Honestly, I'm like,
Can
right,
imagine.
let's have a look at who's doing what in February. Already March is sorted. We haven't got January or February sorted
We've
totally, but
sorted.
March is sorted because, I suppose because of last year, isn't it?
Yeah,
And we
G-Rod's
watched
on
back-
the rotor, so he wants to get it all
G-Rod
sorted
is
early.
also, it's Kills is the worst, but G-Rod is. And
I
Keith,
have to go for a
nightmare.
day or 2 days, otherwise I just feel so upset. So I have to go, but I do not need to do the full 4 days anymore.
I've never done the full 4 days, but I need to at some point.
It once. And
Well,
I
I've
was-
never
I was
done the full
poorly
four. I
for
used to do
about-
all 3 days.
I
That
slept in
was-
the car once.
Did you?
In the car park.
Why?
What, until the next day?
Yeah, no, well, no.
What was everything else booked up? Was it just
I
like?
didn't think about that.
Was it a box?
Just couldn't get home and didn't have anywhere to stay. So
Was it a horse box? Because you sleep.
no, it was like genuinely a golf car, an actual car.
There's an image.
But there were about 3 of us in it, so there was a little bit of body warmth. But oh god, that's going wrong.
You can tell it's been a long afternoon.
And I
can't
said 3. I totally.
She's having a mare as we approach the
lost
mare's
it.
handicap.
I've lost
All
it.
right, okay. I thought someone would be tipping Indefatigable, by the way. Again,
I think she's had her seasonal target already.
Yes.
this is a festival winner, though, isn't it? And she's been dropped £3.
Yeah, but
She's
last
probably had-
time she threw the towel in. Like she
Exactly.
didn't look happy at all last time.
She got beat 76 lengths.
Do you know what she is for me in this race? An in-running bet. Like I couldn't tip her pre-race. If she goes off and she looks in a good mood and it's all, then yeah, you'd be like, okay.
I dare say that this will be an in-running takers race, actually, because it's one of
gonna
these kind of like no one's really sure.
Totally.
Everything's, is Trapista, is she a fact finder for something later on? I don't know. How good is she? We don't really know, do we? And a price of 4.6, like I said, isn't really helping us. In fact, she looks like she's getting a bit bigger. Is Martello Sky going to go off Fav, Barry, as they approach the off?
No, I think Winhouse might. Yeah, 4.5 Winhouse, 4.6 Martello, Trapista is out to 5, 7.6 Indefatigable, and it's 15 bar. So, yeah, it's between Martello and Winhouse in terms of favouritism. The market doesn't really fancy Trapista at this stage.
Yes, indeed. Coming from such quarters, you just look for a wealth of support, don't you? And it's around about that time when they like to get it in the coffers for the big racing coming up.
Have we got a quick minute to do the US tips so we don't have to hang around after?
Absolutely.
All right, 2 US tips to this evening for anyone who likes stateside racing. First one is in the 6.26 at Gulfstream.
Early.
Yes, early doors.
That's often my problem with your tips. I'm like...
Too late, yeah.
Absolutely.
The last one is very late. It's the last race at Gulfstream, but this is the first one. Positive review in the 6.26. Now, obviously, Gulfstream is now on the Betfair Exchange. It was just Sportsbook, but on the Exchange, which is great news. There's currently a bet at 2.54 sitting on the Exchange.
Oh, this is a buzzer.
Yeah, this horse will go off 1.8 on the Exchange. It's going to be smashed up. Showed great promise on debut for Safi Joseph, who does really well at this meet. And the other one is uninvited guest in the 10.05 race 11 at Gulfstream. Top pledger John Velasquez, second time on turf, dropped down to maiden claimer, will win.
Top firm, and we all know one of them, don't we? Uninvited guests, absolutely. All right, there you go. A lot of you like to know that. Oh, TC, there we go. Come on, Winhouse, says Andy Sim. All right, weighing in with Barry. Listen, if she looks like she's cooked at some point coming into that home straight, don't worry about her. She only knows how to battle. That's what I would say about Winhouse. I'm on Martello Sky, but I have to say, if Winhouse won, I really do like her. She's got a lovely, lovely attitude. Right, okay. We're waiting for them to jump off. They're on, aren't they? Off time. It looks like Midnight Reflection is going to adopt the role we hoped she would. No more of these Mickey Mouse races, please. And they are off.
Why are they
And Lust for
What's
Glory.
going on?
What an I tell you what, Indefatigable. That was messy as well, wasn't it? You called it. She didn't really fancy it.
And if she doesn't, that's what we were saying. Like now in running, you just go off. But you've got to see. She didn't fancy it last time, and
Yeah, all right, but she has caught up with the pack because they didn't really want to go on, and Midnight Reflection hasn't. While leading, she hasn't done exactly what I thought. I thought she might try and get a freebie, but no. Rasami River is up there as well for Tom Scudamore and Nelmar Holland. Hotter Than Hell, just off stablemate Winhouse last time at Wincanton is third, trapped by her old stablemate. Martello Sky on the outside. Aidan Coleman could do with a change of fortune, couldn't he? I'd love to have
good
heard
there,
what he
though.
was saying up the running on Song for Someone. That's going to perplex me, that one.
no, she was good there.
What?
Martello Sky.
Yeah, happy days.
Yeah, very happy.
They sort of messed about with her a little bit last time at Aintree, didn't
yeah,
they?
she's
Mickey
just
Mouse
sort of
race.
lobbing it. Yeah, nice
Bruno
rhythm,
Storm
lobbing
will
away.
be watching this from his stable, won't he? Thinking, let's hope my form gets boosted, because of course he's sort of quietly being forgotten about at the Aintree winner. It was very impressive, wasn't he, for Ollie Murphy there? Indefatigable. Nearly got me there, actually. Indefatigable is wide, and Trapista. We weren't sure what she was going to be doing, but at the moment, nice and keen out the back, along with her indoors. All right, then. Barry, we've adopted the positions. Is there anything stinking on the exchange?
No, not at all. It's 4.5 each of 3, nearly Trapista, Martello Sky and Wind House. They're all travelling well in themselves. The one in front is 11.0, so no in-running news of yet.
All right, then, okay, as we might expect. They've definitely put the brake on a little bit, haven't they? I thought she'd go faster than this, I'll say Midnight.
Yeah, well, she's not, and Indefatigable at this moment looks much happier than last time, doesn't she? I'd be a little bit more pleased with that. But they're sort of relatively nicely grouped together, aren't they? And all sort of lobbing away at this moment. What we're on 27 miles per hour. No one really wants to get there too soon, do they?
No,
it's kind of like a
boring
bit.
at the minute, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, come on, someone do
Who's
something.
going to move? They're
This is
all
what
just
Sam Tristan-Davis did us a favour with, wasn't it, in the international? Made sure it
Yeah.
was in
Yeah.
earnest. And, you know, he ended up winning as well. But definitely the plan for Trapista is to be delivered late. Look how wide Indefatigable's going as well, right on the outside under Darryl Jacob. Winhouse now relegated towards the back.
Yeah, I think they're just looking for a little bit better ground. It's getting a little bit chewed up against the inside. But if you're on this leader at a big price...
Do you think So Royale came in afterwards and said, I shouldn't have been on the inside? He fell in the
maybe,
hole,
but
didn't
he was stuffed a long distance. But yeah, Winhouse missed
Well,
that
it's
one.
interesting that Darryl was on that and is now on the Indefatigable
true.
and it's gone right to the side. You do see it. All right then. Okay, now we're just starting to rev up a little bit, are we? Look at this favourite, or the morning favourite anyway, Trapista. She wins after putting like this. They've got one, haven't they?
Yeah, Golden Horse.
What are we thinking about Winhouse now, Barry? The market can't be liking her.
Very
She's come to the
slow
back.
over
Yeah.
some of her hurls. She still seems to be travelling, but very, very slow over some of her hurls.
All right,
She's out of 7.6, 7.44. Trapista, Martello Sky 4.568, Indefatigable 9.6. Her indoors. That's half the price in running her indoors.
Because, yes, absolutely. Harry Cobden just sitting very quietly. Nothing jumping better than his leader at the moment, though. Midnight Reflection as we go right onto the far side. They go down the hill soon. Just getting to starting to warm up a little bit now. You feel on the JP horse.
Yeah, definitely. But I think Martello Sky's jumping really well. Barry made a good point with Winhouse because the whole point of hurdling is they're quick and slick through the air.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't
As I
want
said
them to be slow
pre-race,
in
if
the
she
air.
looks beaten, she just finishes strong.
Yeah.
It's whether something will be gone. Yeah. Well, the last time you said that, Bo, she came out of the clouds. So
Trapista's
totally
interesting,
give up
isn't
on
she? She's that real dark, like you expect from a Golden Horn, like real dark brown in colour, but really sort of lobs away with a choke out of it, isn't she?
Yeah, she's travelling the best.
Golden Horn, of course, over hurdles. Yeah, so her indoors now coming off the bridle slightly.
Sammy River.
They are starting to trap. Yeah, and Rasami River for the Mulhollands. Last time out winner, of course, wasn't it? Getting a lot of weight from them all. The Fav, or what I keep calling the Fav, Trapista. Did it go off? I'm not quite sure, but it's looking like it now.
Indefatigable is still keeping herself involved, isn't she? She's still there.
Yeah, and on the inside, she's now moved to the outside Winhouse, but she sees them all in. Midnight Referendum stays. Martello, right, this is key, I think, isn't it? Aidan Coleman. He's not going to be able to resist leading before the last this time, Aidan,
on,
is he?
Aidan.
And this time he's got one that's travelling. Indefatigable's there. Trapista, not totally done with. Rasami River, you get the feeling it's only a matter of time before she falls in hole. Now Martello takes it up. Midnight Referendum says,
Aidan.
not for me today. Indefatigable, we know she stays. But now it's the grey on the out. I'll tell you what, I'd love to see him get this over the line. He's had a torrid time of it, hasn't he, today? He really, really has. Indefatigable, probably the danger.
Dave,
She's a
trying.
Cheltenham Festival winner. Rasami River coming back really well. Trapista falls in a hole. It's all on the last.
Go on, Aidan.
Really good jump of Martello, but look at Indefatigable. She's a class angle in the race. She's going to outstay her, I think. They're battling. Rasami River looks booked for third. Is on the rail. I'll tell you what. Oh, she's
Come
coming
on,
back,
Martello.
Go on, Martello. This is the hat trick.
Martello.
Go on, Aidan. Get this over the line.
Go on,
Indefatigable
Martello.
giving absolutely everything.
Go on,
It's on the
Aidan.
nod. Aye, Natalie
on,
Green.
Aidan.
We've got it in the last. She didn't shine at Aintree last time. What a brave mare that is. Aidan Coleman would have been thinking, get me in the car
Yeah, he
after
would.
Song for Someone, and this has lifted him home. Great ride, Barry Orr.
Yeah, cracking ride. You see what it meant to him as well, passing the line. Your runner-up Indefatigables ran an absolute cracker off top weight, 1.42, so 2 to 5 that hit in running. And then we also had Rasami River, who was there, not beaten that far, one of the rags of the field, hit a low of 3.6. Rasami River had a Betfair SP of 48, but yeah, great ride from Aidan Coleman. It seems to be worth a lot to them coming up that stands rails. And Winhouse, I think, ran on to finish fourth. She looks like wasn't her day for her today. She just wasn't in the mood from early doors.
I wonder whether Cheltenham's really her track, because it's up and downhill down. And she's run on, and she Rasami River's run an absolute blinder. There's easier opportunities there for her. Indefatigable, the class of the race TC, but Aidan Coleman would have been thinking, when do I go? Probably got there too soon, didn't he? But when you've had the afternoon he has, you're not waiting until the run into pounce.
I genuinely don't think he did get there too soon, because I think the race was won right now. As a turn for home, he managed to get across, because he quickened up, get across to the near side rail in front of
She was headed,
Indefatigable.
wasn't she, briefly, by Indefatigable, and she's come back.
Yeah, she's against the stand side rail. It's a huge positive at Cheltenham. The move to get across Indefatigable, he finishes second.
He had a wry smile, Aidan, didn't he, as
Yeah.
he was pulling up. See him.
To be fair,
Yeah, he knew what he was doing there.
Yeah.
watch the replay. I mean, Aidan is the night. He only reaches for his whip on her bomb.
Yeah.
Like now, like we could do 1 4 and now, and all the time he's just been niggling.
She's just wandered a bit as well, which means she's got a bit more to come actually.
Yeah, which is exciting. But did you see in you want to zip it in pictures when they pulled up, Aiden just went.
Yes,
It would just be
indeed.
such a relief.
All's well with the world again. Yeah, quite right. Absolutely. It's been
Such
a very
a
up and
relief.
down day. Really sad to see Dostalfield go wrong in our first race, which was the Racing Post Gold Cup. I think Chris Cook was given the prize to everyone.
So we had a treble today.
We had a treble.
That's cool.
Some of us had a treble. Natalie
What did
Green.
you have?
I don't know.
He's
No,
got
to be-
stateside to go. Don't worry about him. Barry, it's great to have you back for this afternoon. You'll be back next Saturday.
Yeah, looking forward to it already. Thanks, guys. Have a
I
great
wouldn't
weekend.
see you for a while, Barry.
No, Nat's off now.
Oh, really?
She's
Where are you going?
She's off. She's having Christmas at home probably or something like that, and then she's going to Antigua. As she was saying,
Antigua.
so
Oh, lovely. Sure, I'll see you in the new year.
Yeah.
we'll see you in the new year. Absolutely.
Have
yeah.
a great trip to New York as well, Barry.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah,
And same to you.
absolutely, Barry. Plenty of eggnog over there. All right, great stuff. To have the big hitter from our sponsors, Betfair, with us. Really good afternoon. It's motored through. We started off with Cool Cody. That was as good as it got for me. That was a high.
I know I've never ever seen you.
Well,
that.
I've had a couple of goes. Trust me, this is
Red.
out there.
Eyes popping. That was great.
I'm going to go and buy the silks now. I've got a little bit of time. I'm out on the town. That has been great.
Yeah, it's been great.
All the best for the rest of 2021. We'll see you in 2022.
It's crazy, isn't it? What
TC,
day
you
is
are
it?
not done with yet, though, on the show, of course. We will
No.
see you.
Well, it is 2022.
Well,
Jan
yeah,
1st.
New Year's Day.
Yes, New
That's
Year's
it.
Day. We've got 2 winners over the line today. Night Salute was the second one. So not all
Yes.
doom and gloom.
Yes.
No,
You did,
no,
I thought you
absolutely.
did.
Let's
You
hope
did well
everyone's
with
been
that
having
one,
fun.
actually.
Thanks to the guys in the gallery, Will and Dan as well. Thanks to you for watching. Don't miss us, same time, same place, next week, 1:30. We'll be at Ascot. Great. Right, we're done.
Done.